This is the Levels Podcast. I am your host, Justin Horo, joined as always by the Triple OG, Willie Mason, and the guy in the middle, DJ Tuggertown. 0-5, DJ Tuggertown.
0-5.
I don't know who's got worse at the moment, Mason. DJ Tuggertown or PASCOE, which we'll get to later in the show.
You fucking come at the dogs this week either.
I only came at the dogs because you came at my weak gut.
I know.
Yeah.
the week before.
Yeah, because you're a week at a Doug. That's right.
Well, somebody's got to be after Jamin fucking grabbed the meaty last week.
Before we get in the show, make sure you do all the good stuff for us. Like, subscribe, comment, review, follow, tell your mates, get on board, wear the grouse. We're rolling. There's levels to this shit, and we're getting after it. Once again, want to give a massive shout out to our partners, the Tab. We're part of the Tab family officially, Mace. We've gone to a couple of events. Went to Champs Day on the weekend. Great weekend. Good to be part of that gang. Some access to stuff that not even I'd received before in the past as a player, Mace.
Never.
But the fully embraced us, the Tab family. Yeah. We're a part of the gang
just
now.
Just even interview some horse trainers.
Yeah, that was cool.
Jockeys going down to where they all weigh in, all that kind of stuff. Never seen that shit before. So it was an eye opener.
Yep.
In the Tab tent, in all these other places, I think we were allowed anywhere. So I was like, as soon as we're Tab ambassadors or whatever, we can go wherever the fuck we want, pretty much.
When we say there's levels to this shit,
areas, man, it was mad.
When we say there's levels to this shit, when you're with the Tab, there is there is literally no door that you can't get into at the races. So we've got some big plans coming up. Maybe DJ Tigertown might be able to get in. He was asking for the invite on the day. DJ Tigertown, we got your magic, bruh. All right? We got your magic. It's coming. Your moment will come to get on the ones and twos. But how was your weekend, brother?
Yeah, it was good, man. DJ had another wedding on Friday night, so it was in full swing playing fucking Shania and then Backstreet Boys and the rest. But no, it was good fun. Gorgeous little venue. And
sending us some videos. You were carrying on the treat, weren't you?
Yeah, I was carrying on deluxe.
Good.
How good. Yeah, we love that, mate.
Yeah, it was good value.
You had him jump. They were fucking pumped.
Yeah, that's it. I was just rolling the arm over before Magic Round, so a few trial games before we get into this rooftop
that's right.
bar.
You don't come into Magic Round willy-nilly, underprepared.
No, that's right.
You make sure you got your set ready. We'll get you 20 minutes max to do your best work. So make sure it's their bangers only, 4 to 5. I'll speak to my guy Simon up there too. Simon Lennox is going to be looking after us. We've got some Tab commitments up there as well.
I thought we were going to go fucking 5 hours back to back.
We need to see that you're capable of 5 hours back to back first, DJ Tigertown.
5 hours set.
You're doing a great job on here, mate. But I need to see these. All I'm seeing is 15-second clips from you in our Instagram group so far. So I want to see a little bit more before we get into it. But
fair game.
Apart from that, weekend, anything else from the weekend? No, that's it. Let's get into the biggest takeaways.
Nothing.
Biggest takeaway from round 5 then, mate. Let's get into the show.
I was looking at the last, I'm just going to stick with him for a bit. About 12 years, everyone just tried to copy Melbourne. Copy and paste. Melbourne does this. They're structured here. The back rows need to stay here. The front rows do this. Cam Smith, Cooper Cronk, Billy Slater. Work around those three. They're the best big three in the world at that time. And then everyone just sort of filled in. I think now at the moment, they've done a 180 sort of thing. They're not getting coached like that anymore.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not getting coached. They're playing to their strengths. Teams are playing to their strengths. Traditionally, the culture of the Bulldogs is what? We fucking work hard for each other. We hit hard. It's all about the family club. It's all about this. The Roosters are about this. Tigers are about this. All these other clubs are really going back to what they're culturally made out of. Dogs of war, all that sort of shit. You know what I mean? That's what we're built on. That's what the Bulldogs are. Parramatta, regardless of how they're still going, they fucking play flary. They're a flary sort of team. Even the Tigers are very flary.
Yep.
It's been falling short, a little bit short. They've been pretty ordinary.
That's an understatement.
Brisbane Broncos, big, strong, fast, fucking agile. Just run straight through you. Fucking stop us if you can.
Yep.
2000s fucking playing against those Broncos. My debut year was fucking yuck. It looked like that.
Big strong forward pack.
Big strong forward pack. Outside backs, just fucking Selwyn Cobbo. Selwyn Cobbo was 6'3", 6'4". And Corey Oates is still injured. You still got all these blokes. They're just big. Katoni Staggs is big. Herbie Farnworth, all these. They're just
95
playing.
kilos. Even Jesse Arthurs would be about
Jesse
90,
Arthurs
92,
is big.
90,
You know what I mean? So they're big, strong, fast, mobile. They play like that. Townsville. So everyone's sort of going back to how they were traditionally.
Trying to find their DNA.
Trying to find their DNA. That's what happened in the pre-seasons with us. What the fuck is the Bulldogs' DNA? Don't worry about the shit that's been dished up in the last 5 years. Let's go back to like the
Dogs of War.
Dogs of War. Even like from what we started on, out west during the 20s and 30s, they were real hard timber workers. Used to cut, they were sawing down trees, fucking hard blue collar workers. That's what the Bulldogs are built on. They were called the Berries. So we did a lot of history on the club. That's what we fucking are. We're not Melbourne. We're not Penrith. We're not the Roosters just because they've been successful in the last, 5 to 10 years. They've been both 3 best sides in the comp.
Yeah.
What do we want? What do we want to look like? And I think a lot of clubs are doing that. I think that there's a lot of talk would have been going back into what do we look like? What do we want to look like?
What's the best possible version of yourselves?
Play to our strengths. Play to our cattle. We don't have Billy Slater on the back. We don't have Cooper Cronk. We don't have Cam Smith.
Yep.
We don't have GI. We don't have fucking Jesse Broms. Those sides are stacked. But we do have X, Y. We have these players. Let's play to our strengths. We've got Burton. We've got Kickout. We've got Marnie.
Yeah, got a
we've got Carraz. We've got Fox. We've got Hayes.
Yeah.
We've got Max King. We stick to that. We want to get those guys the best, get them to the best that they can possibly be.
Yep.
And I think a lot of clubs are doing that. So I think the coaching is really come into that as well. It's like, all right, this is the cattle that we've got. We'll get the best out of them, those guys, those middle guys, those hookers, everything like that. And same as Brisbane, same as that. They're not really worried about who won the premiership last year, or even if Penrith being the most dominant side. No one can be Penrith. Penrith's Penrith. They've built that over the last 8-9 years, and they're going to stick with that. So all these next clubs that are coming through the system now, just building back on their own DNA. And then when you talk about culture,
to a degree, bro.
It'll take a bit.
Yeah,
Don't be like, you can't just add 2 great players, probably and Appy, and don't play to their fucking strengths. Once they start working out how Appy plays and how Clemmer plays and how all these other key players play, then they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
If they don't, it could be a very, very long year. It looks like a very long year at the moment. But I'm saying the Tigers on paper, they can turn up. They can get most teams. They're just not playing very well. I just think, that's my biggest take.
Yeah, essentially, it's to your point though, Mace. The Tigers are still trying to get back to this, team that they were under Benji and Shane's, and it's not working right now. But it's like the Dogs. I can imagine the Dogs would have been trying to bring this back in the last couple of years with some of the recruits. It's a process. It doesn't come straight away. You just got to be patient with it. It's hard for fans sometimes.
Yeah, it is, and
it's hard to see a way out of it right now. With my Tigers take, eventually I'm like, I don't have anything constructive to say about them right now. So it's like, I don't want to be, one of those guys who just keeps beating.
Yeah, we're not going to bend it but we'll go back to say 2004, 2005, 6, 7 Tigers. 8, 9, 10 pretty much. Very flamboyant team.
Yes.
Highly skilled. Fucking just used to roll through the ruck. Benji and Robbie Farah and Big Todd Payton and Heinton, Liam Fulton. Highly skilled forwards, right?
Yeah.
Fucking played flat and fast. You had Benji just doing whatever he wanted. They had really good outside backs. They had a fucking really well-balanced side. That's what they essentially want to go back to. That high-octane pace through the ruck.
Yep.
Playing fucking heaps of footy. But look at the front rows. They had Scando. He was probably their battering ram. And then you had guys like Toddy Payton, and then you had Heinton, and you had these other guys who were very highly skilled.
LaFranchi was great.
LaFranchi was good.
Yeah,
LaFranchi was good. So he's very underrated. Liam Fulton was good with the ball.
Yep.
Who's the ball playing that pack right now? No one.
Yeah, no. They've got younger guys that they're trying to get it out of, but they're not
but they're not traditionally like the ball. Yeah, the Liam Fulton could pass the ball like a 5'8", and Heinton was pretty good. Big Todd Payton was pretty good as well.
Yeah.
So they could move the ball from coming straight at you, then boom, out the back. Benji's fucking down the sideline somewhere.
Yeah.
Scotty Prince. Let's just not underestimate how good they were.
Yes.
But I think that's their DNA.
Yep.
That's what they want to get back to.
And they're still trying to get back to it.
That's what Appy's a ball playing sort of he's a forward's first 9. You know what I mean? He wants to play with his ruckies. They're not playing with him.
Yeah.
It is great to see teams go back to their identity and their DNA, and that's a great takeaway. But let's talk about the Warriors. Not typically a side that is associated with completing high. It's always, they play quite a high octane brand of footy as well. But they've stripped away the offloads and the really flamboyant, exciting outside backs, and they just play tough and they play resilient. And obviously they can score points. Look at the way they've scored points against you blokes, and obviously this week against Cronulla, which we'll get to. But holy fuck!
Yeah, they needed a rebrand. They're one team that it's like all the other teams, the Bulldogs have had success, even though it was, a long time ago in 2004.
Yeah.
Tigers had success in 2005. Warriors have been to a couple of grand finals, but they haven't got the job done doing what they were doing. That offload style of footy, you can't win in this day and age with the completion rate. So the Warriors needed it.
Selective
and it's worked out well
offloads,
for them.
but selective. Let's just not throw it out our ass.
My question to you and my takeaway watching all the games on the weekend, is the comp as close as we think? Because I feel like it's definitely way closer than last year, even more so the year before when that 6 again rule come in. Remember when there was those really big score lines? Or is it a bit of a mirage, and have we been tricked by the scheduling? So remember when we went through at the start of the year and we're talking about, that's not a bad draw for so-and-so because, all right, if you just go look at the Broncos, for instance. So they've been by far the most impressive team. And they've played the Panthers, Cowboys, but then they've played the Dragons, Dolphins, and Tigers in their last 3. Deserved favourites because they knocked off a couple of big dogs. But let's look at the Panthers, right? So Panthers have played the Broncos, Rabbitohs, had a bye, Parramatta, and Raiders. Despite what you think about the Raiders win, we'll get to on they were still a top 8 side last year. So very strong. They've won 2 games. Parramatta is just as hard, right? Storm, Sharks, Manly. Manly weren't top 8 last year, but a lot of people can see that they could potentially get in the top 8 this year. Panthers and Roosters, really tough schedule, probably the toughest to start year, considering that they've all played 3 teams off the bye. And then you go down to the lower ranked teams. So how impressive have the Dolphins been this year? Unreal. Roosters, tough game. Canberra Raiders, Knights, Broncos, Dragons. But this is where it starts to get interesting. These are the teams that I'm looking at with the Dragons. Like you see the Dragons, Dolphins, Bulldogs, respectively, Mace, Knights. They're all sort of at least got 3 of those teams each in the first couple of weeks. The Warriors, same thing. The Warriors have been going unreal. They played the Knights. They had a tough one against the Roosters. Cowboys, they got an injury depleted. Cowboys have been ravaged by injury this year.
Last 3 rounds.
Bulldogs and Sharks. So it's a genuine question. I don't know the
100%
answer.
it is. I'm with you.
Is it are these teams as good as we think, or should we just pump the brakes?
Pump the brakes.
Do we still need another 4 or 5 weeks to see who's legit?
Pump the brakes. Yeah. Because, hey, the teams like Parramatta, Penrith, all these big teams, they're still fucking good, but they've just been playing each other. I looked at our draw at the start of the year and I went, that's a fucking very good draw.
It's probably why the Tigers are probably the most disappointing.
Considering what we had the first 10 rounds last year compared to what we have the first 10 rounds this year, most of our games are pretty winnable. Considering the squad that we have, how they're coached, what we expect from these guys, you're like, we're sitting here at 3-2, we could be 4-1. Like from last week's game. A lot of the lower teams from the bottom 8, bottom 10 for the last 2-3 years, they want those teams to go good. So I'm not sure how they're doing this fucking draw. But a lot of the lower teams have got a pretty good draw. We don't play, I'm pretty sure, a top team, a top 6, top 7 team. No, but we don't play them twice.
Yes. Oh, okay. Ooh. Well, that's nice. That's really nice.
You have a look through a lot of those lower teams that aren't the Roosters and the big dogs.
So you're playing a lot of the bottom 8 teams twice this year. Well, that's nice.
So you have a look at that, and then you see how many times the big dogs play them. They'll play each other twice.
You got a bit of a tough run coming up now because you got the Rabbitohs, Eels, and Sharks, which will be big. But essentially,
I'm not worried about any of those teams. I'm not really worried, but I'm saying that the comp is very, very.
It is even. Yeah,
it's even, but. Let's just give it 12 rounds.
Yeah,
whenever 12, get it to Origin. Teams played each other twice. Some teams have played each other twice. You got a fair gauge on it. I think you can get a little bit more of a gauge on it right now, and you go, what? These teams are going to be all right. But I want to see the Bronx go up against Penrith. I mean, they did go that first round, but I don't really give a fuck. I want to see
first couple of rounds. I
want to see it round 16.
Yep.
I mean, or just after Origin or before Origin, something like that. During Origin, you're not really getting a gauge on it either. But just before Origin, I want to see, the top 2 teams, play each other.
Yep.
And really go at it. You had about 10 games. Origin's coming up. You need about 2 or 3 big fucking games. Then I want to see those Friday night games. Then you'll see those guys. And you're like, they're the real deal. Brisbane are the real deal. Penrith. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know, Parramatta, I'm not saying Parramatta's not going to make the top 8. The Roosters, South, they've been up and down because they've played each other. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, South beat, Roosters beat South beat Para, all these, you know, like all these teams are getting beat, all the top 6 teams. So it can be confusing if you're trying to have a punt or you're trying to get a
Yes.
or you're
It's hard for the punters.
Or you're trying to, it's hard for value, but it's hard to get a real gauge on how these teams are. Like the Dolphins, like the Bulldogs, you know, like Gold Coast, like all these teams that aren't in the top 8, but they're sort of sitting at 3 and 2, you know, like, hey, they're all right.
So what are we going to rely on in a couple of weeks? You're going to be relying on your DOWGS. Your DOWGS of the week, brought to you by our friends and new partners here, BodyScience. Mate, you've been with them for 20 plus years as an athlete. So we're stoked to have them on board. And they're coming on board as our Dog of the Week sponsors. So our BodyScience DOWG of the Week.
Shout out to Pico and Greg, all
We'll
the
explain
family
this
there.
more in a little bit, but let's get through to our DOWGS of the Week and then we'll tell you about the products that are available at Woolworths and online right now. Mace, your BSC DOWG of the Week.
I was umming and ahhing, like, I've given this guy the Dog of the Week my first week, but like, I can't believe we doubted him again. And he comes out and he just puts, he is Melbourne. Like fucking Cam Munster is a dog. Like, he doesn't stop.
Even I doubted him. He's my boy and I
12
doubted
hit-ups,
him.
it's like 120 something meters. Like he is Melbourne. Oh man, I can't wrap him enough. Everything he does is just gold. I don't know where he's getting it from. He's busted. He's down. He's not playing with too much. And how he got
It's nowhere near as strong as
how we got him home. I was just like, you are fucking kidding me.
You know what the
Against a good South Sydney team.
You know the biggest compliment I think I think this is why we love him, Mason, people who love rugby league and in particular. He just, no matter what the result is, you know that he puts himself in the contest, right? Like he's always thereabouts. So he every now and again, like he doesn't do it as much. Yeah, actually, he's probably never ever really done consistently, like had bad performances.
No.
But the thing is, he must be, mate. His engine, like that dog inside of him, must just be barking all the time because he's just always in the contest when people seem to be fading.
Yeah.
Like when people, like you think of the biggest Origin moments, you know, when Xavier Coates. So like I think he made a break just before he scored his try, Juzzy Olam and all, but like LATRELL played it pretty well, to be honest. Backed off a little bit, you know. Yeah. Prez normally ices those ones. Juzzy Olam was coming up the inside, and then Cookie did a great job getting in between and cut it. And, but he doesn't have like. He's got footy amnesia.
No, he has amnesia. He doesn't care.
He's on to his next moment.
Like Wayne Bennett was big about that. It's like just don't carry your divots. You make a mistake, get over it, get next play mentality. Because a lot of players, they don't have that. They're sitting back, they're thinking about their plays. Oh, well, I shouldn't have done this. They get the fuck over it real quick because the game doesn't stop. You can stop, but the game don't stop. He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop competing. He'll throw that cutout ball. He'll go short. He'll play long. He'll kick. He'll kick, chase. Like he got 12 hit-ups, 141 meters.
Yeah.
32 tackles. I'm not even going to read out his missed tackles because he does come out of the line a fair bit and just try and get him back in. So if he's just trying to come up and try and get your big man to come back in, if he hits you and he misses you, it's a mistake. It says 12 tackles on here.
He does. So some of his missed tackles...
he pushes them back in the middle.
Yeah, he saves his edges from getting exposed by coming up and sending them back in.
So I don't give a shit about 12.
I also will say this sums him up as well. The one big missed tackle on, I think it was Isaac Thompson, ran straight over top of him. He got up and he started like clapping towards the crowd. It was so good, mate.
He's a strong kid.
Oh,
the
Isaac
fucking
Thompson.
winger. Oh my God, he pumped.
I think it was Isaac Thompson.
He did. He pumped him down the short side and just like Munster's got went, great run.
Yeah. And he was
great run, young bull.
Because as soon as you see a play go down straight away you think, oh shit, HIA for the players. Yeah. And old Prez gets up, the DOWG and him gets up, runs back on side, starts clapping to the crowd. Come on. It was an empty crowd too. Awful crowd. It looked like there was like 10,000 there.
But that's the character in him doing that.
Yeah.
This is a big effort from one of my boys, Max King.
Yep.
His eye looks
he started the year very
awful.
well.
Yeah. He has a ruptured plantar fascia. Ruptured. This was 2 weeks ago, mind you.
Yeah.
Tough as fuck.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Don't care. Goes out there, 16, plays 51 minutes in the middle with a depleted middle. So we had to play some big minutes. 16 hits, 166 meters, 38 tackles, 2 misses, fucking eye, 1 eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That sort of shit I fucking love. Like he hadn't done a ball work session in 2 weeks. Like a field session, he's just been inside doing his thing. And that's the shit that personifies what a fucking bulldog is. He's that. He's a front rower. He needs to do that shit because all these young kids look
How long you got Maxi for, Mace? Do you know if
another 2 years.
if he's been extended or he deserves an
signed
extension?
3 years. Well, if he has signed 2, he deserves his deal.
Yeah, he's going to get a nice little upgrade.
Yeah, Raymond Fatala Mariner come off in the first 5 minutes. We were very depleted. We had a real young like Ockenball getting sent off for 10 minutes. They just stepped up, the boys. I was so proud of him.
Yeah,
but he's close to the fucking dog of the week. I just don't want to give it to Bulldogs players every week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
If it's in the name. They're dogs. They're natural dogs.
Yeah, that effort.
Maxi King. I echo what DJ Tigertown said there. He's been, if not just outside Karaz, probably your best this year for the Dogs for sure. My best, and this is another guy who's been probably the best for a very underwhelming team, and I'm sort of giving him, this is like a Dog of the Month for his performances for the St. George Illawarra Dragons.
It should be a shirt for Dog of the Month.
Yeah, we can
get a fucking shirt made. BodyScience, we'll get some
shirts. We can get some shirts.
2023, we can do some shit.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But my Dog of the week is Triple OG Mutters Blake Laurie.
Oh, I knew you were going to go with it. I knew it. I fucking looked at his stats and I watched him play. I'm like, Mutters went good.
Yeah,
hey, Triple OG, shout out.
Yes.
I know he loves the show. I know he loves the skip.
Big respect, big boy.
18 carries for 154 metres. Most of any forwards. 31 tackles, only one missed. Team high, and another piece of meat. And
loves it.
Leading try scorer for the Dragons, isn't he?
Leading try scorer. And apparently he's
fucking
been...
oath.
I did a gig with SEN on the weekend too. Zach Lomax talking to Lomax. Apparently he's let all the boys know on the group chat as well. Straight off the bat.
I love it.
And he gets up to... And this is why I love it. Because he's a character. He's a proper character. I had a bit to do with him with Normie. And he's just a fucking good dude. And he's getting up now, like when he scored the try, he's like, yeah. He's giving her these ones like it's normal.
This is what happens.
When he scored the first one, he got up and he's fucking celebrating, kicking the ball. He scores and goes, don't worry, boys, I got it. We got it.
He's like Jordan hitting the threes.
Yeah. He's giving it these on.
Next week, we'll just walk back to fucking kickoff. He'll be done.
Triple OG Mutters, Blake Laurie, Dog of the week. Great one.
Nice.
All right, let's get into the products, Mace. We've got the high-protein vanilla right in the middle. Great tasting high-protein, low-carb blend of quality protein. The perfect combination of both fast and slow-release proteins to provide energy for optimum performance and muscle recovery while keeping you feeling satisfied for longer. Just got that out. Currently available in Woolworths, like I said before, Mace. Online at bodyscience.com.au. Mace, where are you rolling with the weight?
I've got all these at home. I've got all these at home. I think I've got more than Woolworths.
Yeah.
I'm not even joking. You look at my cupboard. Look at my cupboard and just open it up, and it's just stacked full of Body Science things. I've been an ambassador for Body Science the last 20 years. As soon as we started doing our own show, I'm more than happy to jump on board. Their products are out of this world. They're all made in Australia.
They speak for themselves. They're the OGs.
They're made in Australia. They're not made overseas. Even their compressions, all their compressions, their clothes are made on the Gold Coast.
Love the shirt.
Not made.
I've got more kit for you too.
Yeah, they're not made in a sweatshop in like Bangladesh or fucking China and shit like that. It's made in Australia.
Always a plus.
Hey?
That's always a plus. We don't want anybody supporting modern slavery.
That's what I'm saying. But I love how they do that because they could easily cut costs and fucking go make it overseas, but they don't. They never have. They make all their proteins and everything here in Sydney, Gold Coast. They're good people.
Protein shakes. What do you want, boys? Protein shake and chocky.
I'll grab a vanilla one.
Yeah, you would be vanilla.
Match the outfit.
I think and what they're doing,
Thanks, boys.
They've always been the leader in everything in sports in Australia, and they've been good friends of mine, so I'm glad.
Good people.
Good people.
Hey, we're part of the Tab family. Love being a part of the Tab family. Love being a part of the Body Science family. Thanks for jumping on board. We'll just sip this as we go. We're not going to go too crazy and slurp it down your... I'm going to give it a little shake-up first, eh? You give it a little shake-up?
I'm glad they're on board. It's good.
Yeah, pumped to have them on board.
Quality
good people,
shit.
good quality people, good quality products. And also, before we move on and get to the stories, I just want to say, off the back of the news last week, we did the story on Joseph Suaalii. Yeah. I didn't agree with what Morgan TURINUI said, and I was, before we rolled in, Mace, I said to you, because I knew you had a relationship with him, I said, look, this is what was said from TURINUI. I had my say in it. I disagreed with his point. To his credit, he reached out. He messaged me on Instagram without even, I'm not too sure if you're like close enough to have his number, but he reached out on Instagram. He goes, look, this is the reasons I said what I said. He said he probably took it out of context. And then he goes, he just wanted to push forward that, he's not that that guy that I was explaining. Because look, I never did say that he was out and out that dude, but I said those are tendencies of what rugby union dudes would say in those moments. And he, what's the word? Impressed upon me that he's not that sort of dude. Sounds like a good fella.
He's a good dude.
I said, bro,
Morg's a good dude.
I said, at the end of the day, I'm just having my say in it, sticking up for a mate as well. I flicked him Cheese's number, so I'll leave it with you, bro. If you want to reach out to Cheese, it's more up to you. But I think last week in particular, there's a lot of emotion. A lot of people from both sides that were angry about the whole situation.
I told you, it gets
It does.
It plays with people's emotions. You lose them. We think we've lost the leaguey. They think they've lost a union guy.
Yep.
It goes further than just than this. But that says a hell of a lot to his character.
Yeah,
he's a good man. He's a man's man. That's why he messaged you,
yep.
fronted up,
Flicked
and
me
said,
his number.
This is what I thought, and you squash it. That's how you deal with shit,
Yep.
people. You don't fucking bitch around. If you got a problem, if you're a real man, you fucking man up and you just go, all right, well, this is why I disagree.
Yep.
I disagree. Let's find some common ground, get over it, get along with life.
And just to, from our end as well, mate, it's like, I knew you related relationship. I never do this shit for clicks or whatever.
No, we don't.
I knew it would go viral, don't get me wrong, but I 100% believe that is my opinion. I always do that. He respected that as well.
Exactly.
And we, at the end of the day, we both respected each other's opinion, and then we moved on.
And I told you, I said, you say what you want. If you believe in that,
Yep.
you say it. Don't just sit here and just fucking we go around. That's what people do. Right. They don't have the balls to fucking to say what they mean. They sit there and just pussyfoot around.
Yeah, and I think that's why people like to listen to our stuff, because whether you agree or disagree, with this take, I think people most of the time know. Yeah. My biggest thing, I explained this, I ran into Dill Brown actually recently, and we've been critical of Parra in the past, and we had a bit of a joke. He's a real laid-back character, but he was very complimentary of all our stuff, and I said, this is what I said to Dill. I said, with regards to more of the rugby league stuff, because this is a one-off, you'd think with rugby union, we're not going to be going back and forth with, it doesn't probably interest us.
Wait till David Campese opens his mouth.
Ooh,
he's fucking lightning.
The OG.
I love him.
The OG loves it.
I love Campo. He will start a fire.
Anyway, to my point to Dill is I go, bro, this is like whatever I say, whether you agree with it or you don't, I say whatever, and I gather you're the same, Mace.
Yeah.
We understand that people are potentially going to watch stuff that we do, potentially clip it up, potentially show teammates or players. So anything that I say on this show, I'm willing to stand by it if I see them face to face, or if they reach out like Morgan did. 100% respect it.
Yeah.
I'm not and I always think, all right, would I say this if I was in the locker room? So whenever I break down games, break down subjects, topics, whatever it is, I always think, all right, would you say this if you were in the locker room with the team? And that's how I try to do content, and I think people love that side of it. Obviously, they love it with you, Mace. You're always straight to the point, authentic as fuck. That's why people love it. But just for a mindset of what we sort of go through in content, because there's you like to think there are some people that in particular with the other media companies that have agendas going into it, right? It's all about making sure what's going to hit, do we dig into this guy or do we rip into him because it's gonna be good micro content. But whenever I approach content, that's my mindset with it all, mate. So I know you're the same.
I do not even look at like these micros and whatever the fuck they look at, where a lot of the big sort of like mainstream, they want that. Clickbait,
well, they
all that sort of
for
shit.
That
they prepare
stuff.
for that. They already got it in their side thing.
Or topics.
I know how the journos work.
Yeah.
Especially the new age journalism. It's fucking rubbish. We're sitting here as grown-ass men talking about rugby league, talking about anything we want. I don't sit here going, fuck, this is going to go viral. Could not give a fuck. I don't read comments. I don't watch a show back. You know what I mean? If we have to watch a show back, if I think that we're doing something wrong, I'll do it then, but you should just let it flow. Yeah,
and if I was ever to say something and I'm like, I might regret it or whatever, again, I'm not afraid to reach out. And if someone agrees with me and they come back and say, well, this is the reason. It's never happened, but I'm willing to have that conversation with people too. It's like the TURINUI thing. It's a perfect example. Hard. So I appreciated that from him. It was a good exchange. Hopefully he reached out to Cheese. Cheese, I texted Cheese before. I gave his number and he was like, water off the duck's back. Doesn't bother him the slightest, that sort of stuff. So he was sweet as well. So I'm sure those two will be sweet. All right, moving on to topic 1 for this week, TNT.
Sweet as. Latrell's brushed the idea of meeting with the kid who racially abused him a few weeks back, and rightly so, really. Said he doesn't want to waste his energy in a presser that was on Monday. So credit to the bloke on this one. I reckon he's handled it pretty well. But Scope, I'll throw to you first. You like the way he's gone about it?
Yeah, of course. It's an honour, and Latrell's one of the biggest names in our game. So to get an opportunity to meet Latrell and go through and educate this young kid with Latrell, he shouldn't be wasting his time. And it's not up to Latrell. It's not Latrell's job. Does the kid need education? Fuck yeah. Mm-hmm. But you don't get a free ticket to meet one of the biggest stars in the game because you racially abused him. Yeah, 100%. I'm not too sure if that's the mindset behind Latrell, but that's my mindset. Yeah, go do some education. NRL, get this kid educated. Make sure, Mace, you brought it up. You said it perfectly a couple of weeks ago. That's what he should be doing. He should be going out to Aboriginal communities, with what Willie Tonga's doing with
Deadly Choices,
those sorts of people. Those are who he should be going and talking to and getting educated on. It's not Latrell's job. He's had a tough start to the season as well with regards to South and where they are on the ladder. Yeah, he said that he's got to focus on his footy, and it should be a privilege to get in the same room as some of these high class players. 4 kids that are doing the right thing, not a kid that's done the wrong thing. So I love it, mate.
Well said.
Well said. I couldn't have said it any better. You can't just go straight to the top and go, oh yeah, I'm sorry, Latrell. Fuck off. Go out, like I said before, get him out to the country for a month. Get off your phone, connect with the earth, go up like to Arnhem Land or something like that. Learn some shit, educate yourself, and there should be things that he has to pass before he even gets near Latrell. Even if Latrell doesn't even want to go speak to him.
He doesn't have to.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah.
No, but there should be certain things that he needs to tick off before he even gets in the room with Latrell or any of the elders or anything like that. He needs to go and do some work on himself. If he's a 14, 15-year-old kid who's yelling out racial abuse to a person of Latrell's stature in the game, he has a lot of fucking issues, more than going up and saying, oh, I'm sorry, Latrell. Are you sorry? You're not sorry. You're just sorry you just got caught. That's all you're sorry for.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to drum this down too much, but I just want to have my opinion on that and Mace's. So let's move on. DJ, take it down.
No worries. Tigers CEO and fellow Snoop Dogg enjoyer Justin PASCOE.
Yeah, the DAWG.
He was given both barrels by Buzz and Hoops over the weekend.
Oh, was he?
Oh, fuck yeah. So a bit of context. First issue stems from the fact that he was on the field pre-game at Suncorp in a club polo with a footy in his hand. Second issue is that he was on his phone while Sheens was giving the boys a bake at half-time. So my question to you blokes is, I'm a fan and not a former player. Put yourselves in the Tigers' shoes. How would you blokes react if your CEO was doing these things, and what message does it send to the playing group, Scope?
First one, right? So the first one, I think that well and truly coming after him. Would I like to see my CEO on the field? Probably not.
So he's on the field before a game.
2 hours before a game, he's walking the field with Benji talking about he's in suit pants and a Tigers polo.
So what?
It's a bit of a beat up, that one. It's a bit of a beat up because he's the fucking target right now, and deservedly so. He's got I think he's got his own podcast. If it's not him, it's someone in one of the higher ups.
So there's an Ask the Boss segment that runs every month. Yeah. So he runs that.
And you subscribe to that, DJ?
Absolutely. Watch it every week. And then Tigers.
You want to go work for them?
Hey? No. Actually, no. I'm off West Tigers. I applied for a job midway through last year and they brushed me. I got nothing back, and my cover letter was glittering. It was you could hear me crying as I typed.
They're going to be furious now. Missed out on you now. You're with us.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. On to greener pastures, literally. But
yeah, go.
Go on, mate. Yeah.
But I'm
so he does that podcast. He's got a podcast.
He's got a podcast. Tell me about the podcast. Do you know the details of the podcast? Does he do it? Is it his one?
Okay, so they have
once a month.
They have two podcasts.
Is it with the West Tigers? Is it?
Yes, it's West Tigers
so
affiliated.
The Bulldogs
it's Ask the Boss, and they will pick somebody from in-house in the club. So last week it was Hino, right?
Yep.
And it's basically there's questions for Hino and there's questions for Justin
from the fans.
Yes, and they will switch roles between being the interviewee and the interviewer. That's effectively how it works. So Justin is obviously on the front foot in that sense. He's in the shop window a fair bit. You know, he was he was effectively front and center of the doco that they did in 21.
Yep.
When Madge was still there, he runs this obviously, and he did a Q&A with Buzz recently as well. If I can, as a Tigers fan and member, I am sick to fucking death of seeing our CEO and our chairman in the news at least twice a week. Can they just stay out of there, please?
Yeah.
I've just had enough.
Yeah.
I understand that Hadja Pantelis has a role at SEN and he offers legal advice to people who call up and stuff, but just the constant airing of dirty laundry about my club in the media when the best clubs keep these things indoors, or the best run clubs, that hurts.
Yeah, well said. Well said, DJ Tigers. Yeah. And I'll just one thing, mates, before we move on to it. I think him being on the field is a bit of a beat up before a game. If he's pictured because they're going awful at the moment. I dare say there would have been other CEOs that have walked on the field
fucking do what you
just
want.
Before games. Walk out with the
2
players.
hours before a game.
I think you have a chat to a few of the boys. You have a chat to the coaches. They might even talk minimally about the game plan, like, which way you're going to run, maybe something like that. So I think that's a bit of a beat up. But the second one's awful. Being in I seen Gemma on the, I think he was either
Triple
on
M,
Triple
he
M
had a crack,
or the bye round. He was into him and deservedly so for this one. Can't remember seeing the CEO in the sheds at halftime too many times from memory, Maze. But get off your phone and pay attention. He was pictured on his phone why Tim Sheens was talking at halftime, and that one's puzzling because if you are indeed in there as a presence or to shake things up or get gather information about what Tim Sheens is potentially telling the team, and then you'd have to then relay that back to the higher ups. You can't be on your phone, mate. It looks fucking disinterested. How awful is it? If you're sitting having a coffee with someone and they're fucking in their phone, let alone at half time. So,
me as a player, if I saw the CEO in there at halftime, I'm like, what the fuck is he doing in here? You know what I mean?
Irrespective of whether or not he had the phone?
If he was on his phone, blokes would have thrown something at him. Seriously, that's how strong our playing group was. And it was just like, get the fuck out. Yeah. It would be something like that. Like, it's one of the, you just don't. Anyway, then times might have changed. Walking on the field, don't have a problem. CEO is a fucking human being. He can go and walk on Suncorp and do what he wants and talk to Benji and talk to this. But the main thing for CEOs are, you are not part of like the coaching staff or anything like that. Your job is to what? Get board members, wine and dine, potential sponsors.
Yep.
That's fucking it.
Yep.
Get sponsors on board, run the club like it's fucking great. The image of the club, all that. Don't be in there at halftime. Aaron Warburton is one of the. I think he's great. Just gets deals done. Does like he's a Bulldogs CEO.
Yep.
You'd never even know what Aaron Warburton looked like.
Yeah, that's it.
That's how the CEO is supposed to operate.
Yeah.
You don't do shit, but you just
could
try
do
and
more, but he's
you
from
might,
Parramatta,
you make the So you try and make the club better, the image better. Try and go forward with the club, and that's about it that I'd want from my CEOs. And everything else is under the GM, which is Gus, and football, and the whole football side is football.
Yeah.
When we're watching the game, Ambassadors Lounge or anything like that, the CEOs, chairmen and that, they won't go down there at halftime.
No. Yeah.
Like
I was trying to think if I've ever seen it before.
Or if they have, you would not see them.
What about other positions, owners and that? Do you remember when Bernard Gosh used to come into the Catalans?
Yeah, owners. I mean, like, you'll see Arthur Laundy in there sometimes, but not really half time.
No, not half time, mate.
Full time?
Yeah, full time. Everyone's full time. Yeah, heaps full time.
Full time's a little bit like with footy now. Like, I can only just go back to when I first started. No, it was a real inner sanctum there. Real inner sanctum. So you at the end of the day, there'd be a couple of board members in there, and there'd be the coaches.
After games?
Yeah, after games.
Yep.
Nothing now. Now, like I was at the game last night, sat with my mum, and I couldn't think of anything worse. It was such a great win, and I'm all about the players, and I just want them to have a fucking just soak that right in and go, that's fucking amazing. They don't need to talk to me. I don't need to go talk to them and all that kind of stuff.
That's very selfless of you as well.
Well, I've been around a long time. I know what it's like if you win games. Like, I don't want to talk to anyone else but the fucking dudes that I went to fucking war with for that whole 80 minutes.
100%.
You know what I mean? And that's it. And then you probably get that time on the field, everyone's with their families, and you walk into the sheds, and it's fucking jam packed.
Yeah. I've seen the Broncos room.
Do you know what I mean?
Packed on
and
the
I'm not just talking about the Bulldogs.
Nah.
I'm talking every
Yeah, a
NRL.
lot of
Like,
the teams
you
are.
don't even get a time to fucking sit there. Or maybe if you've got to, I think Ciro's pretty good like that. He'll get the 17 around and the players and where they talk. And then everyone else.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you might be in there and they'll already be in there.
Yeah.
So there's no fucking, there's no sitting around. You got to shower and you got to be ice baths. You try and enjoy that moment.
You want to bag a few players from the other team.
You want to fucking just really like have a good. You just want to enjoy that moment, and they don't even get that. Like I'm never going to be. I'm very aware of it as well. You know, I do my work during the week and that, but I'm not like assistant coach and all this. You know, I'm part of the coaching stuff. You know, I'm part of the club, all that kind of stuff. When they win, like a game like that last night, just soak it all in, boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100.
Just get it in, like, because it's fucking great.
It's more important to be there with the boys when they lose.
Yeah.
And they're fucking down on the dumps.
How you guys going, boys?
They've got a few questions they need to ask. It might not even be, it probably wouldn't be directly after the game, though. They may sort of be recovery.
No, it's mainly
rocking
the next,
up, being available for them.
2 days. It's the.
That's when everyone leaves them.
The
All the
Tuesday
fucking
and
jumper
Wednesday.
honours, they're not there.
You come back down to earth, right? You go, fuck, well, we just got smacked by 12. Or how do we bounce back from the Warriors game?
Yep.
We fucking bounce back. Well, we train harder, we lift the intensity, blah, blah, blah. And they did that.
Yep.
End up getting the points last night, and it was a fucking great win. You know what I mean? It's one of those wins that you can carry on for momentum for about 5 weeks. But yeah, CEOs, all that kind of stuff, they'll be there after the game. Be there. You're part of the club, CEOs. You know, but like just little things like you wouldn't even know who our chairman was. John Curry, one of the greatest guys in the club. You never see him.
Yeah.
You know, you see him when they win. And these guys are die-hard Bulldog supporters. You know, they love the club. They don't get paid. The chairman and all the board members and the chairman, they don't get paid.
You know what? Now I'm thinking about it. At Para, when we were going through our worst years and there was a bit of a changeover, I can remember like board members and that used to be rolling around before games. Like it was almost like they were trying to show a presence. Like it almost felt. Now I look back and like it was like an intimidating factor for them, and it was just like. It was awful. It was awful.
It's not a good look,
It's just like, let us get out of the sheds like that close to a game, preparation. Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I reckon as minimal in the sheds as possible, even after the games. On the odd occasion, it's a family night. Maybe once or twice a year, you get all the family in, let them enjoy a big game. It might be a specific big, like a round or something like that they do it. But I think the less the better, because my biggest point with it, and I'll fucking know this for a fact through playing, everyone loves getting in a winning sheds. No one likes getting in a losing shed and sticking with you and sitting shoulder to shoulder with you, having a protein shake or having a beer and going, fuck, well, you know, what happened? Are you going to be right? Like, you know, hey, what's going on this week? Everyone wants to be with the winners. No one wants to be with losers.
You know, being a loser, like losing in that, you don't want to talk to like, that's just the head coach or something like that.
Yeah.
You don't really want to talk to anyone but your mates. Yeah. You want to fucking sit there and talk to the coach, sitting there and we won the game and folks ain't sitting next to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're fucking up the back. We're in the corner fucking going, you know, we're having a good time. Sitting there talking amongst each other. We're just saying, you know what I mean? Like, you live in that moment because, like, it's a great moment. You know, like, and Ciro knows that. All the whole coaching staff know that. Coaching staff hang out with the coaching staff.
Yep.
And if the players want to come over and say what's up or whatever, like, you know, you can do that, especially after games. You know, you're already prepped before the game. You prepped them.
You've got to be approachable without giving too much, right?
Yes.
I reckon.
It's a fine line coaching. You can't be one of the boys. You know, it's you know, you're not one of the boys if you're a young coach and you want to be fucking hanging out with them and, you know, going away and getting on the piss. No. I think that's where a lot of coaches come unstuck. Because they're sort of used to being playing in that NRL sort of bubble and being hanging out with players. And it's like, once you're a coach, you're a leader of men. You have a different fucking swag. You're supposed to coach. You're a mentor to these guys. You're a coach. You're a senior figure. You know, so go on to those fucking days, man. And you understand, the quicker you understand that, the quicker you'll be a better coach.
100%.
Let's review this round, eh?
Yeah, let's get into it.
No worries. So Thursday night, the Chooks got it done over the Eels 28-20. I feel like the scoreline probably flattered Para a little bit with a couple of late tries, but I want to put it to you. Do you reckon the Junior Paulo is Parramatta's most important player?
I'm going to say yes. Comes off him a lot of stuff, like especially when they're in the red zone, they didn't look like they were going to score.
Yeah,
they're hitting him. They're like Hodjo goes to him. He hits him wide. He'll either dig himself. He'll try and score. He'll pass around the back. He'll play block plays.
Little turn up.
You know what I mean? He'll turn up, or he'll play out the back. He'll hit short. So he's like their big prop / lock. he has that skill set, and they do miss him. They fucking missed him.
Yeah. I probably agree with that. Yeah, the more I think about it. They do have quality across the park, but he is a very good indication of when they're on the front foot, when they're travelling, when he's
intimidating.
He's the intimidator, yeah. He's essentially what Jared Warrior-Hargraves was for fucking Roosters on the weekend.
Yeah.
And, I love... Regan Campbell-Gillard is an Australian prop, but he does his best work at having that second carry after Junes or after Junes has skittled a couple. It was all throughout the news last week. They're missing a strike player, but fucks me where they get it from. It's not out there. I think this is who Para are. I think the score lines haven't been awful for them. I think they've
averaged they've lost 4 to 6 or something like that.
So we lost the first 3 games by 4. Then they scraped home against who last week? Penrith. And then they've lost this by 8. But I'm with you. I think the scoreline flattered them. I think Roosters were by far and above the better team, the better quality team. They lost Teddy after they had a couple of sin bins, mind you, but they lost Teddy.
What do you think about that, Simonson?
Yes. Oh yeah. On that, let's get into that, Mace. Again, position biased.
It's fucking so position biased.
Position biased with 10, the 10 in the bin and the send off rule. For me, that's a send-off. He's coming in, he's wedged in, he's hit him
shoulder
in the
to
chin.
the head.
Teddy's, you can't. It's very hard
to send off.
It's very hard to determine, but I don't know why there's this position biased on it. Like Hargraves said it the best, I think, to the ref at one point. He's like, if that was me, you would have sent me off. Yeah, right. And it was a fucking valid point. Hargraves is no fucking angel. Don't get me. If you're a Parra fan,
he's the closest thing to an angel that's ever played the game.
He's closest thing, that should be his nickname, closest thing to an angel. But my point is, and it goes back to the Felice Kafusi hit on Hastings compared to Joseph Suaalii on Chance Nickel-Klogstad. There's position bias with decisions that are made. It's fucking pissing me off. I've had enough of it. Bailey Simonson he's
100 kilos.
He'd be close to 100 kilos. He'd be about 6 foot. Well, I've seen him, man. I've seen him in person.
15% body fat. He's ripped. He's fast. He's powerful, man.
Well, that's important too because he's so fast and he's making that decision.
It's not Mick Neal hitting you.
That was
the great tiger.
Yeah,
it's a throw.
Yeah, couple. It's not like the old days. It's not Chook Halligan, respectfully to the fucking Chook.
Chook Heron ain't flying off the wing.
These guys wedge and they hit now, man.
Fucking hit hard.
They're like you think of some of the pocket rocks. Obviously, fucking Georgie Tafu's OG, but like Bailey Simonson ain't no fucking small winger, man. So he hit Teddy, and he hit him good.
Everything.
And he wedged and come at like without the ball. It's fucking. She should have been sent off. If that was a back rower on a sweep, so just say. If that block shape was run in the middle of the field,
on the 4 men,
a half comes out the back of a lead shape with a front row leading, and a back rower shouldered that from the. He would have got sent off a fucking 100%, and it's pissing me off that they're judging wingers, outside backs, halves differently than they're judging forwards.
And if they're fair dinkum about HIAs and CTE and all this sort of shit, you've got to rule these rules fucking black and white.
Yes.
You can't be having this positional bias bullshit. And if you're worried about the players, you're sending Simonson off. Fucking Teddy didn't come back on, did he?
No.
So you rattled this guy. What if he broke his jaw? You know, what else are we waiting for?
Well, what wasn't in the rules that saved Bailey Simonson?
I don't know.
Shoulder to head contact.
To head, person without the ball. That's a send off, right? And what is it? What do you get? 10 minutes?
Did he leave the ground?
I don't even know.
I'm trying to remember if he left the ground. I don't think he left the ground.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like all those things that we're just saying, like it's not a good look for the game. We're trying to clean the image of the game up.
Yeah.
We are, but like that's one thing in the game from fucking in the 2000s that you were always against.
Yeah.
Shoulder to the fucking head that's defenseless.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Like Sonny Bill was the best fucking shoulder charger of all time. He'd never hit you in the head.
Yeah, he was always clean.
He'd hit you straight on the chest.
Right on the ball, eh? Yeah. Right on the chest.
Right on the ball. You know what I mean? Like it's an art to do that.
Because his was more square on too, so he can find a position. It's and this is not a crack at Bailey Simonson.
No, it's not. It's just like he got it wrong.
This is just position bias of the NRL getting this wrong with these wingers, outside backs, halves now, and not coming down on them as hard as they're coming down on forwards doing the exact same thing. That's my only drama with it.
Play the ball, A, B, C defender, person running the ball, someone with the block shape halfback out the back. You're the 3-man. You check off that lead and you fucking pump in.
Yeah.
Shoulder to the head. You're
Sent.
fucking off.
Tarek Sims, sent.
Tarek
Jaden
Sims-
Sewer, sent.
Yes.
Felice Kafusi, sent. 100%.
If Reed and Campbell Gillard or Junior Paulo or someone like that, if they come out of the line, they read that play good, bang, come from outside in and smack the shit out of this bloke, you're off. What's
6
the
weeks.
difference? What's the difference? Nothing. He's a fucking winger. But these wingers hit like trucks now. Centers hit fucking everyone can hit.
Yeah.
There is not one person out there. There's a couple of fucking guys there, I'm not even going to name them, can't fucking tackle, but most of them can hit. These guys, all they do, these wingers are big. There's not a winger under 6 foot, 300 kilos these days, man. That's the prototype. That fucking
300 kilos.
So fucking, so just get it right, judiciary. Otherwise, if Teddy had broken his jaw,
Yeah.
are you waiting for that?
Yeah.
This conversation's been going on for fucking 10 or 15 years. Get it out of the game.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the hip drops out of the game. I think Ockenball got done with. I get it. Hey, just be fucking. Don't lose your legs. We get taught in defense.
Yeah, okay.
In
Okay,
defense,
they're getting
there's
taught.
so much. There's
I think
so
some
much,
of them are rough, mate.
I know they are rough, but there is so much. There's so much room. You just got to keep your legs. I know everything moves, momentum, and everything like that. I love Ox. He's a good kid. He did not mean that. No way. But they're trying to get it out of the game.
It's a fatigue. For me, that's a fatigue tackle
You just
as well.
lose your weight and you just want to go. But I mean,
I don't want to see it. I think, if there are clear examples where, like, the Paddy Garrigan one was awful.
Yeah.
When you've got the ones I struggle with are when the tackle is stationary, they can't get him down, and then they go bang, which was the Paddy Carrigan one.
Yes.
On Jackson Hastings. When they're stuck in that tripod and they're in, and the player can't get him down, and then you do it.
But they're trying to get rid of that, and they're trying to
ones
just
for
say
the
when you're
weekend.
coming in, bang, hitting, below the knees. Yep, 10, you know what I mean? Getting all that out of the game. But the fucking one that they need to do is they had every chance to pull the trigger on Simonson, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
So
Well,
throw some balls, refs.
Yeah, I'm with you. Back to the Roosters, boys. I think, and this is a big if.
Sorry, back. Is Teddy playing this week? Is it a
he's
category
out.
one?
His category's done.
Fuck.
Yeah. He's
You know
out.
what I mean? If you're a fan, if you're Teddy, if you're the Roosters, how angry are you? And Simonson gets to play this week? Was he cited? He might get 4 weeks. I don't know. He'll probably get 4 weeks now.
TNT, Tiger Town, check that while we go through, just to see what the judiciary is, because they would have had a lot of decisions before they go to judiciary come out. Mace, back to the Roosters, though. I'm with you on that. With the Roosters, I think, and this is a big if, this is what I wrote, because they've shown in the last couple of years that they can't stay healthy. Big name players at crucial parts of the games, whether it's Radley, Hargraves has missed a lot of footy. Kiri's had a pretty good run. I feel like Joey Manu's missed a lot of footy, not reoccurring injuries, but like
lower leg strains.
But freakish injury. Remember the jaw from Latrell, shit like that.
But he's had some lower body injuries.
Yeah,
the
they
last
have.
couple of years.
Yeah.
Last sort of 6 months, he's had some dramas at the end of last year.
For whatever
calf,
reason,
grade 3 calf.
For whatever reason, they can't seem to stay healthy. But for me, if they can get their best 17 out of their best 19 on the field, I think they're the team to beat.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Roosters.
I like the way they play.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the team top to bottom, Teddy's there, obviously. Best. Look at their back five.
If we can get, if we can get Tupanua and hopefully Angus back.
Well, Angus is back at training.
Then the Egan and the Nate.
They've got the Butchers coming off the bench.
Fighting for the bench or starting spot.
Yeah.
I like both those kids, but fuck me, imagine those two coming on.
Matty Lodge still to come back.
Yeah, Matty Lodge.
Yeah.
Lindsay Collins has been very solid.
Your best ability is availability.
100%.
And they have not got availability yet. And they're still doing it.
Yeah.
Toops, man. Toops is killing it.
Yeah.
Off contract too.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, man.
Mate,
I think he's one of their
I
longest.
love Toops, man.
I think he's one of their longest serving players.
He is.
Yeah.
Who's mate? They're losing Suoli. I mean, how old's Toops?
They're getting Dom Young.
I think he's 31.
They're getting Dom Young. Jackson Barlow's been unreal.
Yeah. You fucking can't get rid of Toops. He's 3 premierships.
He'll be 32 in June.
Still got it, man.
Yeah.
Well, does he cash in? I'm not sure. I'm just saying
let's keep talking it through.
If the Dolphins go, who needs a specialist left winger? Like, there's fucking wingers everywhere, man.
He would slide into most. So let's rule out a few
think
teams.
he
Let's
could.
go to the
Let's
ladder.
just-
Broncos don't need him. Warriors, they're going well, but
Montoya's on that left edge, isn't he?
Toops is a level above any of what they've done. They're having good seasons. Don't get me wrong. Manly could use him. Manly could use a left edge winger.
Yeah.
They've got Ruben Garrick, but Ruben Garrick's versatile enough to play right if need be. And CT, Tuipulotu hasn't been a lock for him. Panthers won't need him. Storm don't need him. Dolphins, Mace, there you go. Dogs use a suite with your wingers at the moment.
Yeah.
Titans could always use him. So a couple of the...
South? No, you wouldn't go to South, I don't think.
Ooh, South would be a good shout.
Yeah.
But he would never go to South.
Nah,
Do you reckon?
sure.
Do you reckon he would never go
I
to
don't think
South?
Tubes hates anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone loves Tubes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just the
That's
most,
exactly what they
he's
need,
the most
bro.
lovable dude, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Hargraves could never go to South.
Here's
Victor Radley could never go to South.
Here's the point, right? So people have been critical of Latrell's kick returns in the past.
Yeah.
And AJ is a fucking weapon. He's the best finisher in the probably combined in the last 5 years. Probably him and Fox.
Fox, yeah. Don't
Last
leave the
5
Fox
years,
out.
these two, they're definitely in the conversation. Pick your poison, whatever. Tubes yardage has been he's been that dude for 10 years.
Don't give a fuck.
He was that before Toto was that.
He's that dude. Still.
If you're Souths and you're looking to add, imagine like you've got that. I like that Isaac Thompson, and this is unfortunately. South fans, I don't know if you're going to want to hear this, but if you were to have Tupou and Isaac Thompson coming off your edges, because Latrell's best work is in good ball. You don't want to waste the Ferrari doing that yardage shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. He needs. They need.
That'd
Be a good
snag
think
for
they're
Souths.
that one back three. Like Latrell's Latrell, and you. I'm not sure what they do with AJ. Is he off contract this year? He signed 2 years last year.
AJ would be there. It'll be a tough call, mate. Because the Rabbitohs fans
they tried to flick him 3 years ago. Trust me.
That was with Uncle
And he
Wayne,
had to take a big pay cut.
Yeah.
AJ's not off till the end of 24.
Yeah, that's what I said. I thought
25.
25.
Yeah, so I thought that he deserves it. He deserves it. But
Yeah, I'm just saying.
But if you have AJ,
for me, it'd have been an upgrade.
So AJ, Latrell, and the other, I don't think he's solidified yet. The young kid, Thompson.
Yeah.
That's not a good back three coming out of yardage. They're great finishers and they're good ball runners, but look where most of the game is played now.
Yeah.
You've got
Well,
to get
that's
them
my
out.
point. I'd
I know that's your
prefer
point, but I'm saying,
Walker.
then you've got Campbell Graham. He's not a massive runner.
No.
And then I don't even know the Tass. Not a their back five is probably, I think for yards, it's probably in the bottom 5 in the game. So that's a big fucking thing. They make up for it with a lot of skills. Their skills, their kicking game, all these little things. They're front rollers
play
and they
simple
just
through the
and
middle.
their culture
Yeah.
and the fucking their DNA. They just play hard. They don't give up on any plays, all that kind of stuff. So always going to be in a game, right? But very important back five.
If I'm Tubes, I'm not going to anyone but a contender. And it'd be
But let's
interesting
just
to see.
think, like, would they get rid of Tubes? Come on, bro.
So next
Who
year,
they got? Who have they got to take his spot? He's better than.
No, I wouldn't get rid of him.
No.
I wouldn't be, but like, there's been rumours around it for a while now.
I reckon he either stays or he goes to Catalans. We'll make a few phone calls.
Yeah, look after him.
Gosh. Bernard Gosh.
Bring him.
But he either stays there, size 1 or 2 year deal, depends how long he wants to play for. We don't know how banged up his body is. He might be in good nick. He looks like he's fucking still, he could play Origin.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We speak about best abilities, availability. I feel like Tubes. I
Don't stop.
I can't remember fucking Tubes ever missing
I
fucking
think
much
is
footy.
he reaching 300 this year?
He'd be close to it. Check out his games.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
I love Tubes. He's just one of those guys you just
How do
love
we get
around
on
the
this
club,
anyway?
bro. I don't know. We just talk.
Yeah, we just keep talking.
Hey.
I'm trying to bring it back to
got a conversation.
We're going through their back five. That's how it started.
Yeah.
So the back five, Jackson Barlow's been unreal. Joseph, and they get Joe Manu back this week, who
It's another level of just like both sides of the field. 'Cause he just comes in.
He'll go back. He'll go to fullback actually. Joe Manu will play fullback for Teddy because Teddy's out this week.
Is that a grade 1? You get missed 2
Then their
games.
front row, Hargraves. Fuck, he's one. You can tell he's fucking.
Best
off
thing that's
contract.
happened to him. Did he play in the World Cup?
No, he went over. I don't think he ended up playing in the end because
Yeah,
wasn't he
that-
suspended?
Yeah, best thing that he did. I reckon now his body just gets a break, not train and everything like. And he took. I think he had the first 2 games off.
I
or
don't think it was
something
by choice. I just don't think he was picked in their best 17 by
like that.
the.
He's
because
34 years old.
Yeah, and he was suspended for 4 to 5 games.
So they already got their nucleus done. Like, and they were playing some really good football. So I
Yes.
just don't think he,
come in for a final
under
one or 2 games.
he would have been
semi-final,
underdone.
straight
He
final.
would have been underdone.
Yeah.
But the way that he's playing this year, it's like he's fucking
Those 2 games.
2015-16 hard.
2 games. We changed the game. Him and Cheese changed the game. They were my dogs.
I
of the
love
week.
that shit seeing old boys 34 doing
Yeah,
that
love-
stuff.
yeah, so do I.
Just fucking ripping in.
Yeah.
And he's scared. No one's like that anymore. No one's like that. Everyone fucking shit's scared of him. The old dog's 34 years old, putting fucking frightening every other prop in the game. Do you know what I mean? Like he's got that real fucking crazy eyed, like he wants to fucking kill you look.
Got that dog in
He's
him.
got that dog
He's
in him.
dead.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and other people,
knows
they don't know
you
how to
do.
deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to get over these young props. You know what I mean? Like, because he knows he's fucking got it. You can't. What are you going to do? You can't hit that. He's a fucking animal. But he's got that mindset, the way that he
can't
approaches,
hit
the way
him,
that
mate.
he approaches training. And I mean, I've known this from some good sources there, how hard he is on everybody and how much he drives that culture.
Yeah.
That's why he'll never leave.
He's going to be a
Roosters.
massive loss. If
He is
eventually-
that fucking dude.
Tubes
He'll
is on
retire.
227?
He'll retire a Rooster.
Tubes is on 227, by the way.
Yeah, he'll retire a Rooster, like in one of their greatest props.
Yes, 100% he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he might even get a little upgrade. Robbo
I don't
was
know. It
speaking
depends
about
how long he wants to play for. Fuck, he's been around for a minute. It's
That's
his
it.
14th year in the game.
Yeah, for me, Para, yeah, they're flattered by that scoreline. I think Roosters were a lot better, and I think Roosters are the better team
Roosters'
this year.
ceiling is a lot higher.
Yes.
It's like,
I think I just
everyone
think,
back.
I wrote down no disrespect to Para again. They'll win big games this year. Don't get me wrong, and they'll be thereabouts at the end of the year. But I just think this is who they are when it matters. And they made the grand final last year. But for me, I think a fully fit Roosters, Rabbitohs, or even
They're done. They're not a top 4 team. They might be like 9-10 by the end of the year.
Eels.
9, yeah. These
You
other,
hate
I'm telling you,
the
these.
Eels,
No, I don't hate it. I'm just. Hey,
Being real.
I've got
Keeping it real.
5 games, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Sean Lane better come back and make this big difference.
I think he's back this week.
So they missed him on the left edge, but he's not. You know, you can cover Sean Lane. He just he hit some fire back
had a
into
good-
the year.
he's had a good
he had
18
really
months.
good cut. Yeah, he did. But
Yep.
broken jaw. He's got to got to start again.
Well, we asked the question right at the top of this. We'll see how important Sean Lane is to him and for Dill Brown, who's been good. Like Dill Brown's been very energetic and trying to get himself to the game, but just nowhere near that try assist, try scoring Dill Brown from last year. So we'll see what he brings if he comes back and plays this week. Because even Brycey Cartwright's been all right, solid
Yeah, he's been good.
in filling in for Sean Lane.
Does he go straight in the left side back row? Where does
I think
Cartwright
so.
go?
I think Brycey goes back to that 14 role with Dury comes off the bench, Murchie. It gives him a
Who are they
versatile
playing? I
bench.
know we'll review in a couple of days, but who are they playing this week?
Tigers. Easter Monday.
Oh, fuck, you guys are on 6.
Canberra, 12. Penrith, 53.
What happened? I only watched half of this game because I was like, I'll go back to it after. Because I always watch things like a little bit later. I never watch them live.
53 or 43?
53.
53.
It was fucking 12-10 at half time, was it not?
Yeah.
Wow.
The weak gutted dog raised the bat.
Oh,
What about that call?
that was hilarious.
Oh
mate.
yeah, that was class for the Grateful Eight.
Fuck.
I hit. I think 5 from 8. So I'm
Yeah, I was
back
gonna
up
say I
there.
thought you were
Oh,
close.
it's great.
The week get a dog. I fucking
Yeah.
called that shit. My phone was going off more than it's ever gone off before. Fucking in the season,
Running
this year.
hot.
This year. Fucking I had that many DMs. When was it? Friday, Arvo? It was Friday. Arvo.
Friday.
I just finished playing. Had the golf day with the Hello Sports boys and the Breaking the Yips day, and I
Oh
fucking.
yeah, I couldn't fucking get a hold of you.
Yeah, Tigers, you don't hit me up on the Friday for a Saturday. Fucking, you get that information early.
Organizational
Yeah,
skills.
yeah.
I was gonna stand.
Hey,
in
one
for
thing I
this
wanted to say, and I
wedding,
told
but
you before,
carry
like
on.
when he said, like, we got a dog, do you think that's a good look for the game?
Do I think it's a good look
I
at
like-
for
I don't
the
mind it.
game? No.
I like it. It's the same as Katoni going, this is our fucking home.
I think it's totally different.
Okay.
To be honest, because I just think, like, if you're a young 10-year-old kid and you're looking at him going, we got to, why is he saying that for? You know, there's no context to it. Like, this is our
there's-
fuck.
no, there's
this
heaps
is
of
our, I know
context.
there is. And then,
Yeah.
then the coach called him a dog, and then I can say whatever I want because the coach said that about me. I can call him a fucking piece of shit if he called me that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the ripple effect from a young kid, if you're looking at your 12-year-old kid looking at that game going, oh, you're 12, you know what's going on. We can sure call him a weak guard dog. You scored try and said, you're a fucking weak guard dog. You know what I mean? Like,
Great
it's just,
from
doesn't
a-
teach anyone a lesson.
It's great from a rivalry point.
I
of
think
view.
it's great. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I think it's great, but I
But
just
is it
don't
good
think
for the game?
it
As
is
you
a
said,
good
no.
look
Yes,
for the
I'll
game.
back that.
It's probably not a good look for kids and that sort of stuff. But, mate, at the end of the day, the shit that they're seeing on their phones anyway, way
I
worse.
know.
So, for me,
But if the
I
game
like
was-
it
if the game was-
because...
Make sure
for
you
me-
keep
for
Lenny
me-
off YouTube Shorts when she gets older. Those things are fucked.
Oh, yeah. Mate, the internet's fucked anyway.
If the
but
game was image conscious about stuff like that, they would have reached out to him and said, mate, none of that.
Turn it back in.
That's it.
And
Turn it back, or we're
to
gonna
his
give you a
credit though,
fine.
he's kept quiet on this for fucking a whole year.
Yeah,
and he hasn't said a word.
I would have done it as well.
Yeah,
I'm
that's what
fucking-
I'm.
Yeah,
I'm confused.
I'm
I
all
feel
for
like
it, but I'm
you're
no,
against him on it.
No, but I'm just saying, is it a good look? This is me being
Okay.
like fucking other side of the fence.
parent. Now you're a parent.
Is it a good look
Yeah,
for the
okay.
game?
Yeah, fair game.
If you're a 11, 12-year-old young impressionable kid watching one of your heroes out of Penrith fucking say that, and it gives you the right to go, well, I can say what the fuck I want after it. Like when I score a try, if someone said something about me, it's like, it doesn't teach anyone real life lessons, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
I would have said exactly the same thing. But
Yeah,
I'm just
okay,
saying
sweet.
the repercussions, the ripple effect into our younger, if we're image conscious about the game, right?
Yeah.
If we are, you wouldn't stand for that shit.
Yeah.
You'd be like, no,
I get your
we
point, I get
don't
your
like
point.
we don't like what we do. You'd reach out if you're Volandis or Abdo and go, here's a fine. Don't do that again, because Roger Goodell would do that. You
Yeah.
ain't fucking around fucking the NFL or the NBA, anything like that. You're not doing it.
Okay, so when the NFL players do celebrations, they go a little bit too far.
And they get fined.
They get a little fine. Or they get a little. Hey, don't do that again.
Yeah, that's what-
Hey, I'm happy
that's
for
all
that.
he needs.
And
That's what he needs.
and I think that he's got it. He's got it off his chest now, and it's
Right.
The boys would have spoke about it because I reckon.
I love it. I'm not sitting here being a fucking idiot.
No, I'm with you. I'm
just
saying.
think- I just understand if we're so image conscious about the game,
Yeah.
that shit shouldn't be said, or it should be nipped in the butt. And they go, we don't stand for that, because it's
I'm
not
happy
a
for that.
good look for our younger
Don't-
kids.
You can't be fucking doubling up on the weak gutted dog too much. You don't want to overdo it.
Do that once,
We,
mate.
we overdo it. We can overdo it, but don't let him do it.
Let's get back to this game. What's going wrong in Canberra?
What happened?
They were just dominated for fucking in every aspect of the game. I wrote down, like, as I was watching it, I was like, if their forward pack, in particular their middles, don't have a 10 out of 10, especially with no Jack Whiten, they're never really, like, across the board, they've got a team full of really good, solid first graders, but there's like you can kind of see why Jack Whiten might be looking at that squad going, do we have enough here to not only win a comp, do we have enough here to make the... I'll tell you a story about a guy who's in a similar situation. I won't mention his name, but basically he was at a club and he's a good mate of mine for a couple of years. He's now over in the Super League, and he was just stuck in what he called grey area. And it was like, he's looking around, the team was good without being great. They're probably going to make the 8, but they're never going to win the spoon. And he's like, I feel like I'm wasting my time. Like, he'd been around, done it, won a couple of comps. People might be sitting at home trying to put 2 and 2 together. Mace probably knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm running the diagnostics in my head as we speak.
Yeah, and he basically said over a coffee, he's like, mate, this is as far as I'm going to go with this club and the game. So he went over to the Super League, and he's done now, and he's enjoying his life over there. It's like, if I'm Jack White and I'm sort of looking at where Canberra are, and I'd potentially be thinking the same thing. Got some really good players, mate, like really top shelf. Joseph Tarpany is a top 3 front rower in the game. He's established himself as a top. Pups has been that already, if not the best for a long time, during a period where him, Jared Rory-Hargraves, Jesse Bromwich, always had a real fucking dog, like proper forward pack of dogs. But this is who Canberra are for me, and
They didn't expect this, but 53.
I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have more of a crack and fucking get into a
Same.
bit of a niggle, but they were just dominated. Penrith were ready for it. Credit to... And let's just get them to
Fisher
Penrith.
Harris only played 20 minutes.
Yeah. And he's done.
Yeah.
MCL.
that's
so
not
So
good.
see, like,
so
their
he's done
forwards
for
just
another
come
5
up.
or
Their
6
forwards
weeks.
just dominated. Like, I mean, you got Leota and Isaiah Yo. Just put a clinic on.
Speaking of
Ryan
Leota,
Toto for 235 metres. Fuck,
It's
that
their outside
Taruva
backs, mate.
is- oh my
It's their
God.
outside backs. Toto and Taruva.
Taruva, they're outstanding.
We don't even speak
Tungo
about
is-
Toto anymore because we're just used to it.
We're just used to 200.
200 of the best.
ridiculous.
It's remember when
it's
Tyron
standard.
Peachy was back.
It's remember when Tomalolo was going through it as well, where it's just like
just making 300.
he probably wouldn't be our dog of the
Averaging
week.
200.
I reckon,
disgusting.
like, see, this is where it's a bit like how, like, realistically, LeBron and Michael Jordan could have won MVP every year, right, for the entire time that they were in the NBA. But you sort of try to find the new guys, like Toto runs like on average is 200 meters a game, but I'd never give him dog of the week. Why? Because I expect that
norm.
shit.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
sucks.
Jason. It's like Jason Tomalolo. Like, he's never going to win dog of the week for me because I'm like, he's dog of the last fucking decade.
Yeah.
So like he don't need another dog fucking nomination for this week.
Nah.
So yeah, that I think in a way that hurts him, but realistically that's where they start, man. Isaac Tungor, Stephen Crichton was fucking.
But they don't stop. They get fitter. They must be so fit. That game last week, who was it against? Penrith and
Para.
It was fucking non-stop, end to end, kick. Like, it was just fucking on a tilt the whole game. They don't stop that back five. They do not. It's not like they're fatigued or anything. Like Dylan Edwards don't stop coming at you. Toto, their fitness levels must be fucking crazy because the high level that they play at is it's taxing, to say the least. The kick chase, all those little things, the work from marker, the hunting from A, B, C to get them to the sidelines, picking them up, fucking dragging them out. They play a fucking high energy game.
Well, you know better than most, mate.
Yeah.
It's what you used to try to implement at the Dogs through Serraldo, and they've perfected it now. Like Panthers are that team.
They're masters at it.
What were you saying about Leota? Is he extended?
Yeah, he has. He signed an extension to time down at the Riff until the end of 2027. So that
deserves it.
Oh, it's good.
That's another one of that premiership winning
one of the most improved front rows in the game.
Yeah.
Does all the little things. I mean, Ciro's giving me a little background story on him. When he come there, he was overweight. No one really wanted him. No one wanted to give him a crack. Ciro's like, all right, give me 6 weeks with you.
Yep.
Paraphrasing here, blah, 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 blah. Bang, he's that dude.
Yeah.
But he fucking worked hard.
Yeah.
That's the fucking thing. If you're a young kid who's in the system and you maybe have a weight problem, a diet problem, just fucking draw a line in the sand. Like, look at Leota now. Like, he's fucking can set his whole family up for the rest of his life because he dedicated himself for fucking what? 8 weeks? Like, these young Polynesian kids, they got fucking so much skill, what I'm seeing now, but they won't dedicate themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Well
so
said,
they
mate.
should
Well
be
said.
looking at Leota going, yeah.
He's a great example. Yeah.
Great example.
I'd love
no
to-
one wanted him.
I'd love to play shoulder to shoulder with Leota. And that's the greatest compliment you can say as a current or ex-player.
There's
some
to me,
guys
I'd
you
be
just
feeling
watch
very
and you go,
comfortable.
100%. Just made you feel comfortable. So congrats to him.
Well done.
Great signing for Penrith. One last thing before we move off. I think Hoskins has got the jump on Garner too. He's been really
so
good.
he should. He's been way better. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's good, eh?
I like him.
I think it was caught
Runs hard, man.
caught up with who did I catch up with? Was it Cheese or Connor Watson? Someone from the Roosters. Oh, Turpin was talking him up. Oh, actually,
The Manly Junior, right?
no, he's he might be.
He's old man.
I think so. I think he's
old man's a
I think
Manly
his
great.
old man's a Manly OG.
He coached
he was at the
Toronto
Broncos.
No, he coached Toronto Scorpions back
Did
in
he?
the 90s.
Did he?
I love him.
Yeah, I think Turpin was giving him a rap one. I was in a FaceTime and a couple of the boys one night, and Turpin was going, Hoskins, give Hoskins a shout out. So they played together at Brisbane last year.
Yeah, right.
So
Oh, he was at Brisbane, wasn't
he played like 2 or 3 games.
he? Yeah, he's got talent, man. He's got talent. Hopefully, he solidifies his position there. I think he has.
Essentially, they're pretty similar players, but I really like what Hoskins has done in his 2 starts. To try in each game, I think.
Yeah,
Fucking runs hard, man.
something like that.
Does a lot of the dirty work.
South went down to Melbourne, 8 o'clock on Friday, 18 points to 10. Souths are now 2-3 to start the year, so not exactly panic stations, but was this a game where you sort of expected them to get it done, given their standing in the comp these days?
Yeah. I thought Souths, with the talent that both these 2 teams have across the board, I think Souths are the more talented team. No excuses, but I think Souths put a lot of
Energy.
There's a lot of energy put into last week for them, and deservedly so. They were celebrating one of their greats. There's a lot of build-up. It definitely looked like it. At no point during that game did I think South were going to get themselves out of trouble. Like, once it got to the point where Melbourne hit the lead, was it Munster's try or there was a try after? Was it Warbrick, and then I think Munster was the last try, and they had one more try after that. But I just thought that Melbourne looked comfortable the entire time. Props to Melbourne straight away. OG they played with real aggressive D through the middle. It felt like their line speed was unbelievable. Their forward pack,
It's a really well balanced effort.
yeah.
From Melbourne.
Well, they had one player who didn't run over 100 metres, and that was only Jonah
Just looking
Pezzett.
at that.
Only one player in the entire starting 13.
That's massive.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever seen that
And
before.
Coates got injured.
Yeah, okay.
So that was it. But you're talking the whole forward
But
pack. Harry Grant ran over
did he still get 100 Coates?
No, he didn't. It says he did 120. Everyone did.
Yeah, he still got 100. I was looking at it
I
before.
must have been looking at something else.
Yeah. And
Wow.
I thought Josh King was best on ground for me.
Yeah,
he
I
was
like Josh
unbelievable. He's a bit like, it's like the King brothers. They're not fucking related, but essentially the same sort of player. Maxi King and Josh King, toilers, not the biggest bodies, reliable workhorses. In this day and age, in the new game, the 6 again rule, like, obviously you need your big dogs. You still need your enforcers. You need the Jared Rorea Hargraves. The games are never going to pass those sorts of guys. But essentially, you need a guy in the middle who's just going to be a fucking toiler.
Yeah.
I think he made 50-something tackles. Him and Harry made 50 each. He scored a nice little scraps try for a big fella who he works his ass off. Felt like he was diving on loose balls all night. He led the defensive line. It was just a fucking great performance by him. And the entire it was a team performance. Munster was your dog.
It was their best team performance of the year.
Yeah.
It really was. And I think they probably marked this down as that we need to do
Bit of a statement
do
game?
a job on these guys, yeah.
Yep.
Because I like South. South, fuck man, they've got talent everywhere. And I'm just like, did Fafita get injured, the young prop, 8? He must have, because he's playing 18 minutes. It just doesn't look like a very well-balanced pack. Tom Burgess was outstanding. I thought he just did not stop trying. 21 hit-ups, like 218 metres. Like Kalamatangi was good. Jacob Host is like, his numbers are never really, that good. But he's playing 41 minutes.
Yeah.
Why is he playing 41 minutes? He's a back rower. Did he get injured? That's what I keep thinking. I'm like, 11 hit-ups, 98 metres. Yeah, it's not too bad. But their bench is not giving them that much. Jed Cartwright.
They're missing a few numbers through the middle.
They are missing Jai Arrow, Totola. So they're two. Then you'll probably get
Hummusele come back, right?
He's back.
Jed Cartwright will probably drop off there. Moale and Selle need to fight for that.
Selle will be there definitely.
Jacob Host will probably go out of the side. I don't think he'll even be in there because you're talking about those big bodies, and you're probably just going to have to keep someone on the bench there.
I don't like Kolomantangi in the middle ways. You like him in the middle way?
No. I like him. I like him in the middle sometimes, but I'd rather him on the right edge.
Yeah.
With Cam Murray.
Yeah, I think Jed Cartwright or Cheekham can be coming on and spelling him. I'd prefer him to just play 80 minutes on the edge.
I don't like that.
And I'd rather interchange Host and even give Murray a break with, even if you only get 15, 20 minutes out of Cheekham, Moale, Hummusele or whatever, just leave Kolomantangi on the edge because
I don't know.
He's so destructive. I don't
understand why they're even fucking with it.
Well, I think he likes playing middle. I get because
he's tough. He fucking loves to hit everyone.
And then you get your hands on the ball. You know what it's like, Mace, as an edge back row sometimes. The game can get away from you, but I think he's an elite edge back rower.
Yeah, right edge. He's great.
Yeah, the lines that he runs, I'd just like to see him dedicate a full 80 minutes because even though he loves the work and gets in the middle, he does look gassed at times. And
totally agree.
For me, he's a difference maker for him. I think he's a strike
weapon on the right. He can score tries with right at the line. He fucking plays well. Taff hits him short. Taff goes to Graham. You got Latrell at the back. You got Cody at the back.
Lockie Elias, not Taff.
Lockie Elias. They need that combination on the right edge because
I agree.
And that first couple of rounds
for the progression of Lockie as well.
Yeah. So he's been down the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's have to play middle.
Yeah,
he's played a lot
2 or 3 weeks. Ilias.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's not really having that impression on the game like he was against South.
Perfect, mate.
Against Cronulla. I thought he played outstanding against Cronulla.
I think if you lock him in with fucking Keon for a full 80 minutes, stop fucking around and bring in Jed Cartwright or Chi or these other back rows and filling in Jacob Host. Lock him in with Kolomantangi because he's got the potential now. You look at difference makers. For me, Brisbane have got fucking difference makers all across the board. If you lock him in and because I love Isaiah Tass and Campbell Graham, great centers, but they're not really. They're more defensive centers, right? Campbell Graham,
he hit a hole near the line.
Particularly very good, close ball runner, plays down. But I just love Kolomantangi. I love he's very versatile, so keep him on the edge. If you need him for a pinch for 5 to 10 minutes max,
yeah, I'm just saying, just monitor the minutes between Cam Murray and Kolomantangi, especially Cam Murray. Busts out in the middle all the time.
Cam Murray, bro, he's an animal.
Maybe swap Cam Murray and Kolomantangi around every now and again.
Well, that's what they've been doing, but they've been doing it for too long. Yeah. So when they give him a spell, what they'll do is they'll give Cam Murray a spell. He'll have I feel like fucking 10 minutes max. Kolomantangi goes to the middle, but they leave Kolomantangi in the middle with Cam Murray as an extra middle, and then they've been bringing on Cartwright or Cheekham and playing him on the right.
Yeah, thinking too much. They're trying
as soon as Cam Murray comes back on, whip him back out there, and then play one of the others through
I
the
think
middle.
JD might be overthinking too much. You know what I mean? With his bench and shit. Hey, if you want to use your
hard.
bench, use them.
It's hard.
Only use them if you have to. But I don't know. Just be. Yeah, I don't think him on the right with Cam Murray in the back row. They just need that other back rower to have some strike on that left edge. When you love being a left side back rower for South,
That'd be nice.
fucking beautiful position. You're gonna hit those holes and just far out. You could be getting untouched about 10 times if they have a decent one there.
Manly, Newcastle draw 32 each in Mudgee.
Out of Mudgee, eh?
Entertaining for everyone involved, and bragging rights shared between the Johns brothers, Cooper and Jack. But Newcastle just keeps showing up.
Shout out to Cooper and Jack. Good dudes. Had a little bit to do with them. Mate, probably had a little bit to do with them over the years. I think they're in a position now where they would have had a shitload of pressure carrying that fucking name through their careers. They're never going to be. I still think Jack's got untapped potential. I think Jack can become a real player. It's just he's been unlucky with injuries. He's got a nice big rig. I think the new game suits him. Cooper's done a fucking great job coming over to Manly. I think there's fucking less pressure on him coming from Melbourne, filling in for like the Munsters and that of the world, where he comes in, even though Shuey's establishing himself as a big name, he's not there yet. When he was coming in for Melbourne, he was coming in for Munster. He was Matty Johns' son coming in for Munster, Jerome Hughes, or fucking Pappenhausen, right? So there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. I think at Manly, it's been a fucking great move for him. His family live in Manly. He's playing good footy for him, and I'm just happy for him. So they're both good kids. I wrote down as I was sort of watching this game, Ace, I think I'm too high on Bird Gang, and I think that might be biased for sure. And I think I'm too low on the Knights.
This was I told you. What did I say last week? This game's fucking. They're up for it. They're going to be up for it. And then I watched the game. I was like, this is exactly what I expect.
Yeah.
But they both were in winning chances.
Yes.
And it's like, fuck.
They both blew it.
They both blew it.
A couple of times.
I was like, fuck, someone win it.
A couple of times. Manly aren't as good as I thought.
Two try, two tries ahead, and the other one 2 tries ahead, and 2 tries, and even. Fucking didn't even get it for fucking the golden point. Come on, man. Are we happy with the golden point after the 5 minutes each way, and then you still can't get it?
Yeah, because I don't want to see him playing any longer. That's fucking how hard it is to play 90 minutes.
I know, but I just want to see someone.
Fuck that. If you can't get it after 90 minutes.
I've got that before. I'm like, fuck, someone pop that field goal.
Yeah.
God.
And Chez's, that's his bread and butter too. Just wasn't able to get a chance. I didn't know they were playing at Mudgee when we did the preview.
Neither did I.
No,
I would have probably gone...
A draw? 32 all?
Not draw. No, I wouldn't have changed that.
No, you're Bird Gang all the way.
Yeah, I'm Bird Gang.
I was as well, because I just think that they got.
But you did like the points.
You
did like the points.
They were gonna. It was gonna be pretty tight. I thought something. Fuck, who's gonna back a draw?
Yeah,
no one's back.
Who's back in the draw?
Yeah,
especially if Cherry. If it gets to a draw, I'm thinking Cherry was going to pop one over. Remember in 2014, we had the exact same position.
Yes. Yeah.
Cherry fucking guy was right in front of my face. I was going to fucking kill him. It was like in deep in the golden point, right? And I saw it, and I fucking had the best Chiriaco mesher on him, inside and everything. He fucking raced around and was like, I think by the time he kicked it, he was 40 something on an angle like that way, and I'm like, you fucking little prick.
Remember when
I was shattered.
Remember when little Jakey Memo went down the sideline and Josh Starling picked him up?
Yeah, picked him up. Oh, Jake Memo.
That's Starlo's fucking claim to fame. He loves that.
Fame, yeah.
He loves that game. The Seagulls, the Manly's lapse is like, the reason I am a slightly biased, but I do think Manly are capable way better than, what are they, 3-2 to start the year, or 2-2 with a bye?
2-2 with a bye.
Yeah, so, or 2-2-1.
Oh,
let me have a look.
I'm looking for you now.
But they just fucking have these lapses where they fucking drop off, like Parramatta game.
Mental lapses.
They were really good against the Rabbitohs.
Would you call them mental lapses?
Yeah.
Like the Parramatta when 10 minutes and they lost that fucking game.
Yes.
It's 10, 12 minutes.
And they see they dominate. Like, it's not like it's an arm wrestle and then they have a lapse. They're dominating and they have a lapse and then they leak too.
Olakuatu's try is like 50-metre bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? It's his first touch.
2-1-1.
2-1-1 and a draw.
And a bye.
Sorry. Yep, got ya.
Yeah. I don't know. I think.
What about Olakuatu's try? Fucking Lockie Miller.
Does Lachlan Miller know where the try line is?
I seen him on Matty John's show and he said he was At first, he thought it was funny because he thought Olakwatu had gone down too short. And then he looked over the
Is he fucking... Is that what he said?
That's what he said.
Or he saw a 6'5", 118 kilo Tongan wrecking ball, and he's gone, fuck this. I'm not stopping him. That looks so stupid, mate. And I was like, dude, at least put your fucking body in front. Because I'm sitting there going...
We'll never know. You pick
Big
one.
Hamid was just like...
Yeah.
He's not even coming up.
Big Hamole.
Hamole.
What do you reckon? What do you see? If you were
It was a bit of both. I'm thinking he got through and he's at a 40-meter run up.
Yeah, and he's going, fuck
and
this.
he's like, fuck.
And
he,
then
he looked to the inside, see if he was going to go to the inside support. Nowhere near it. And then
Turbo was in the middle.
Yeah. So he's like, do I go to Turbo or do I just fucking stay 4 meters behind the try line? He was deep. He knew where the try line was. He 100% knew. He's a fucking NRL fullback. Come on, bro.
I reckon firstly, he looked at Hamole and went, fuck this. Right?
How can I get out of this?
And seen him coming. And then because he was saying, fuck this, I think I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and go, it distracted him. Yeah. And he was just like,
it was happened quick. It was
gonna
bang.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, try.
Yeah. Because you go
like that.
You look up, what? We were speaking about some of the outside backs in the game. And then he's not one of, like, I'm not, again, not questioning his toughness and that. But he'd be 85 dripping wet. Lockie Miller.
No. He's stacked. He's not small.
Do you reckon? Go.
Not small.
Google his weight. I reckon he's 85 kilos max.
Yes.
And then
I reckon 92 at least.
And you got Homole Alakawatu coming at you.
Yeah, 118.
Easy. and change. and Turbo.
Turbo.
And I reckon he's gone.
Turbo 6'4", 108.
Fuck. What is he?
84 kegs.
Fuck, I'm the best. I didn't Google that too, you know.
I know you didn't.
Yeah, I just fucking...
I thought he had decent legs and he had a decent size
He's
on him.
thick. Yeah, he's got a good base. He's got a really good base.
Anyway.
The reason I said the 85 is because I can see him bounce around, but he also gets dragged.
Right.
If he doesn't beat that initial person, he can be pick and ragdolled a bit like Brett Hodgson and shit back in the day.
Not like Brett Hodgson.
No, but you know how...
Ojo was less than that.
You know you can get ragdolled? Like
I know. Yeah, I just don't. I question it. If I'm a front rower, I'm fucking ripping holes in him. Just put your body on the line.
Yeah.
You know, at least, or mate, fall for the dummy. Fucking go in the middle of them. If you don't want to put your body on the line, go at Turbo and went, well, I thought he was going to fucking pass it. Get off your line, mate.
Did you see Callum Ponga try to put a hit on Viliami Kikau last year and he fucking when he knocked him out? Do you reckon maybe that was going through his head?
No, fuck it. These young fullbacks don't give a shit, man. If you got some balls, you go at it.
It was hilarious. Hilarious. There's a new word. Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but it happened a couple of times. He was well below. I don't know where he thought he was. Fucking lines got all mixed up. Man, that's the dead. That's the try line, kid. Yeah. Get up.
Shout out to a couple of guys from the Knights as well. Fucking Leo Thompson's been good for him.
Good.
He's been great,
mate. And not just like fuck. I haven't even had a look at his stats. Can you look at his stats for me, TNT?
Yes,
on the weekend. I'll get them. I'll actually get them up as we go through. The most impressive bit for me is right at the death. You got it in the extra time. So how many minutes did he play?
He played 57 minutes.
57 minutes.
Big in the
middle.
How
many tackles? How many hit ups?
He didn't get that many meters.
He made 43 tackles.
There you go.
Three missed, two minutes effective.
Yeah.
I thought he would have made more meters.
And he made 13 runs.
13 runs? How many meters?
98.
Fuck, mate.
See, Lockie Miller still made 282 meters. I love his energy and shit. Dom Young, 4 tries.
4 tries.
Yeah, wow.
Just quickly, Mace, this is on Leo Thompson before we move off him.
Sorry, just want to say something. Their back five, outstanding. So 282, 227, 214 for Gags, 177 Brad Mabessa, I reckon he played one of his best games, 234 Greg Marju.
Yeah, Greg Marju.
Solid back five, mate. It's a big effort. Well done, Knights.
They've got a good back five.
With the Leo Thompson, back to Leo Thompson. They made that break. Cherry Evans comes through. I think he pops it to Croker. Leo Thompson is in that tackle, holding up Lachlan Croker before he goes to score. And then when Cherry goes for his one field goal opportunity that he got, mind you, it was fairly far out. Leo Thompson was getting kick pressure on him again in the in the 82nd, 86th or 7th minute or whatever. So
big motor.
He's
Big
fucking
motor.
works hard, mate.
Yeah.
And he stands out in that pack because it's something that they've lacked now for a couple of years. I think
Saifidi brothers are there.
Jacob still got a couple more rounds. He didn't play, but Daniel was good.
Daniel's really good.
Daniel was really good on the weekend.
Frizz was good as well. Mate, it was a good effort. And I think Jack Johns is a 13. He always has been because he's not quick enough to be 5'8". And I'm not, do you know what I mean?
Row. He plays back row.
Yeah, and he's not big enough and mobile enough in the back row. He can be in the middle and just ball play around. He's still got pace. He's a big enough kid. He's just been a few injuries and stuff like that, but his skill set is fucking high. You know what I mean? So he can really he can nail that 13 down at Newcastle and fucking make a difference there.
Yeah, and Mudders Croker coming off the bench goes good for him as well too. Matty Croker.
Yeah,
bit of a difference. He's a bit of a toilet with a bit of a game in him too. So he's developing.
Plenty of effort in him. Works hard.
Next game, DJ take it down.
St George Illawarra 38, Dolphins 12. Dragons have had a couple of decent performances against some teams that we probably expected them to lose against. I mean, they were our pick for the spoon. They're playing well.
Yeah, but even though I tipped the Dolphins in this one just because of what they'd tossed up, this result didn't surprise me. At no point did I think Dolphins are fucking these world beaters. The Dolphins have been toilers, so impressive. Shout out to Wayne, great job. But at the end of the day, there is a reason that they're favourites to win the spoon, right? And the Dragons were second favourites. So this scoreline doesn't surprise me, even though the Dragons were disappointed against the Sharks. I just want to give a shout out to the Warhorse, Jesse Bromwich, 300 games.
Well done, big man.
And with that, the best winning percentage of any 300 gamer. Great stat. I
think he's probably only lost 100, maybe.
I think less.
Yeah, I
think less.
Ridiculous.
Well, because I like to watch the presses.
Yeah.
Wayne's the OG of the presses.
How was he in this one?
King.
Do you call them the depressors? You should call them that.
Yeah, the depressors.
The depressors.
I watched me depressors this week.
That's nice.
How many wins for Jess? I'd say. Let me guess.
Let's go. I reckon he's won 228 games out of 300.
Wait. Fuck,
You're in the ballpark.
Oh, well, don't fucking now you guess.
Yeah, you fucked it.
No,
get him off.
I would have gone 234.
Okay, well Mace was closer. So 300 games, 217 won, 82 lost, one drawn for a percentage of 72.33.
That's
well done, big man.
That's unbelievable.
Shout out to Rugby League Project.
Fuck him.
And mate, with the Dolphins, this is the acid test, Mace. Who went down in this game? Milf went down in this game. SOS, franchise halfback. He's not there now.
Any chance to wind him up?
So I think Cody Nikorima will come in for cover. I wouldn't be surprised if he even throws. Is Fleece back this week, or has he still got a week to go?
No, he's got a while.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he throws like a guy like Kenny Bromwich in at 6 if he struggles a little bit. But then you've got to put a lot of pressure on Isaiah Katoa because Hamaso doesn't kick.
No. So is Katoa still fit?
Katoa.
Yeah, he played on the weekend.
Katoa, it's Milford. Milford did his hammy. Milford's out now. So SOS tore his pec.
They could put Marshall King at 7 or 6.
What about Cody?
And put Teagan at a halfback. Yeah, I think Cody's the obvious one. But I think they like Cody in that 14 role when he's back and fit. Did he play on the weekend or HIA?
No, he didn't. Mason Teague was in it.
No, so if he's fit, he'll come back. Oh, but
I think he was HIA.
So Marshall King he was a 7 and 6 coming up through his grades until he got to the Dogs. So he's got that. That'll be Wayne's last choice because I think he's their best 9 easily.
Yeah. So would you want to move Jeremy Marshall King to pair him with Thing?
No,
either would I.
Not if I've got Nikorima and Nikorima's he's played a fucking lot of games. Nikorima, he's he shows glimpses of brilliance every now and again. So he's a senior player in the game, right? He's playing for New Zealand. He's playing some good teams. It's not like you're putting a rookie in there. You can get in there, do a job.
Fucking the Dragons though. This is they're capable of this, man.
Soon as I didn't know it was down at Illawarra because they're so hard to beat in Illawarra. Fucking how many times you been down there and had an easy game against St George?
No, never.
Fucking never, eh?
Never.
Brisbane completely on another level and showed the gulf between first and last. But you'll have to tell me what happened in the second half because I switched it off at half time.
Yeah,
solid as a rock, eh?
Yeah, that was me. When mate Schwarmer. I'm dead set. I did too. I went to Woolies.
They were comfortable. They were home. I think the big Uss, Payne Haas, he must have. We tagged him in that content when I chose Paddy Carrigan over him. Jeez, he's made me look fucking that silly in the last 3 weeks. He's been on fire.
Yes.
He's been. I think he's now leading the Dally M leaderboard with Walshy.
Yep.
Is it
He's
two
a
Broncos players first and second?
That looked like reserve grade. That looked like a first grader playing a reserve grader.
It didn't look good. It didn't look good if you're like a West Tigers fan or even the players going against as I said, this reminds me of that 2000 sort of gang where they were just big, stronger, and faster, and just fucking young fucking 19-year-old fucking Mason going to have to go up against fucking Petro. Like I think Petro was on the bench at that time. Fucking Webkey, like Tony Carroll was in there, like Brad Thorne, Gordy.
Shout out to Brad Thorne too, by the way.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the rugby union converts, we've got a lot of messages.
He's the best.
The OG. He's the best.
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best convert because how do you go from playing, he killed it in just say like early late 90s, played for Queensland, played for Australia, was all the fucking made all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
Goes over, plays World Cup, comes back, plays Origin, wins
the World Cup,
wins the World Cup, fucking comes back here, plays Origin again in 06 or something like 05 and 06, and then wins the grand final with
Broncos.
with the Bronx, goes back, wins 2 or 3 more World Cups and a shitload of tests. So that's the dude.
Yeah.
That's who Suaalii needs to get better than. But I put him way above because he played it with the All Blacks. You know what I mean? Like the All Blacks are the most dominating, best team ever in sports history. And he was a big part of it. So
he's an elite part of it.
Elite. He wasn't just going there and just like
he wasn't just
playing off the bench.
Yeah.
He was the lock.
Positionally,
he was their dude.
He's arguably one of the best players in his position.
He's
for both sports.
Hall of Famer in both codes.
Both codes.
But they got skill all over the park. Reece Walsh looks like he's on a fucking another level. I think he could be a fucking big chance to win the Dally M as well.
Yeah, I think he will. If he stays injury free, just because of the Broncos, the style of footy they play, I think he's
their dude. But but on the other hand, Payne will get 2 points.
Yeah, you know Paddy will get a couple. Reynolds will get a couple.
These forwards are so because Reynolds is backseat to that sort of stuff. He just orchestrates a lot. Ezra Mann, he's that as well. But like when they play good, it's Reece Walsh, it's your Carrigans and your Payne Haases. The 9's not going to get any. Billy Walters. Even though he just sits there passing, he plays good enough, but he's not going to get the points. He's not Cameron Smith or anything like that. So
the beauty of what I love about Reece Walsh and what Ren's doing. I've seen Reynolds speaking. I don't always watch the losers. What do we call them? Depressors. I don't always watch the depressors. Sometimes I watch the impressors. Or is that the best word for a good presser?
Oh. What is that? What would it be?
Quick on the spot.
I was going to say like a suppressor, like serotonin.
I was going to say
suppressor just sounds like something you just stick on your fucking rifle.
Oppressor.
Yeah. Well, the good pressers anyway. The good pressers. And Ren said his biggest thing is just making sure that Reece is, when he has to rein him in, he pulls him back in, and because he does play 100% and he tries to fucking score on every play.
Every play's a play.
He tries to score on kick returns, which is fucking sick.
So I love it. Tony Staggs, someone's just got into him and said, mate, I don't give a fuck what you do. I want fucking 10 plus touches a game. And he's coming in off his other side, bang, jamming it in. Dude's a beast. Herbie's a beast. Selwyn, I don't see a weak spot. Even I had questions over Billy Walters as a 7. As a 9, gets around the park. He's playing.
Just deliver.
He's scheming.
Just scheming enough.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then you look at Palacia, Jensen, Marty Tapau, Corey Pay. They're just doing a job.
Yeah.
They're doing a job. They're coming on. They're not doing anything fantastic. They're just getting through the
13
tackles.
is so star-studded. They don't have to be crazy good off the
Jordan
bench.
Reiki, I think he scored 2 tries.
Yeah, shout out to Geordie.
Good kid.
I want to 50 gamer. Good on him.
Yeah, 50 games.
And I'll say this with the try, right? So the Herbie Farnworth try where Reece Walsh sweeps on the shape out of the back of the left and then he plays short. I love what they're doing at the Broncos. In particular, I think Reynolds is definitely the mastermind with it. Is if something works it's like they don't get bored with it. They go back to the well. You know, like some teams, it's like when you're in a position like this, you're playing the Tigers, everyone wants to score some points. There's points fucking showing up everywhere against the Tigers. There's so many holes. They score the try with Herbie Farnworth, and then the very next play they go back with the exact same shape and they run it again. And instead of Reece Walsh, just little variations, run the same play but don't pass this time. Reece Walsh nearly goes over, just in the corner, gets tackled, held up just before the line. They did it again a couple of weeks ago on the right edge when they were playing. Who were they playing? The Dolphins. Look, and didn't necessarily lead to tries, but they opened them up. I remember he felt like when they were playing the Dolphins, they could have scored another couple of tries, but it didn't quite work.
They just kept grinding.
Once they find a weakness, Ren in particular, he's telling Walshy which side they want to go at, and they're going in it.
And he sees that.
It's a sign of a strong team.
The beauty of that is that you've got a young kid, Reece Walsh. You get into that shape all the time, and then you just rely on his brilliance.
Yep.
That's all you got to do. You see whatever you see, kid, and you fucking pull the trigger. It ain't going to happen. You're going to get different shapes all the time. You're going to get different looks. Yeah, but you're still running the same play. It's whatever you see.
Yep.
So that's the beauty of having guys like that. Remember Benny Barber had that year. They had these fucking freaky shears where everything. Just don't coach the kid. Just take him.
Let him play.
Let him play. Let him play. What you see, that third man could be putting his shoulders in. You see a kick, you kick it. You see a little. You want to go over the top, you go over the top. Like all these little things that he's doing. He's just playing whatever the fucking defense is giving him. And good luck. And he's got the fucking weapons that can just go bang, you're done. Katoni, bang. Herbie Farnworth, bang. Selm Cobbo, bang. Fucking everyone.
Capewell, Ricky.
Then he fucking forward. He's like, then he just goes around the middle. Could be a little ball, bang, straight through. You know what I mean? Like you can't coach that shit. You just got to sit back and go, fuck, that's great.
Yeah.
You got to limit it. That's all you can do is limit Reece Walsh.
Yep.
And then you got to go, well, who do we fucking want to stop here? You try and stop everyone, but we're not. One of them's going to go off. Yeah. Whether it be Katoni, Herbie, could be Ezra, could be fucking Reynolds.
So you worry about their edges, and then you get dusted through the middle.
Then you get a little bit wider. Payne Haas goes straight through the front door. You know, Carrigan's playing out the back.
That's worse.
You know, like they got
That's
fucking.
way
It's
worse.
You'd rather them score out on your outside than go straight through your front door. So. Whatever I'm seeing from Broncos, that's probably the most impressive team.
Legitimately, I've got nothing constructive to say against the Tigers right now. So
I don't have anything either.
This is when coaching comes is really important, and leadership in the teams are really important.
Yeah.
They're 0-5. It's the worst position to be in. No one. You don't have to fucking tell that to them, do you?
No.
They got to get out of themselves. You can't fucking do anything about it. You just got to work, get in the lab, work your ass off, and then just fucking and trust the process, what you've been working for in the pre-seasons. See what the fuck happens.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm with you.
All right, let's go to these two crackers on Sunday.
Yeah, this is doozy.
Sharks went down to the Warriors 32-30, so like the draw between Manly and Newcastle, this was a neutral's dream, really. It had everything, but what's Andrew Webster done at the Warriors that's turned them into a juggernaut at this point in the season? I just said the connection that they had, even dating back to the trials, is evident. You can see that they've got a team that they're working for each other. Going back to just briefly going back to the Tigers. You look at the Tigers when they. It's a tough example, but you go back to the Tigers, even when they score tries, they don't like proper celebrate it. You can tell the Warriors boys, they're a really close knit group. They're working hard for each other. They're not the biggest names, but they all just rip anything for each other, and they've shown, in particular in this game and in other games where they've been behind on the scoreboard, hasn't let it faze them in the past. You talked about their completion rate. The way that they'd get themselves out of a game if they were down by 12 tries would be offloading. They're happy to kick the corners now and build back into the game organically. I know fucking Ronald Milteno helped him out a couple of times with a couple of bad drops that led to tries. After giving him a spray early. So that's the beauty of a player like Ronnie. He likes to get into him. He likes to talk it up. You got to remember when it comes back the other way and all the momentum. It was good to see Edward.
I love the fact. The fact that he does talk some shit, blah blah blah, and then he'll fuck up.
Yeah,
he don't give a shit.
No.
He's got rugby league amnesia.
He does as well.
It's a beautiful thing to have.
He does, yeah,
because he's got a lot of time to think on the wing.
Yeah,
it doesn't let him phase. You come back, score 2 tries. Doesn't give a shit.
The Sharks left edge is struggling though. It'd be interesting to see.
That's the Talakai edge, right? And Moylan.
And even Teague Wilton is a part of it as well. Yeah. So I've got a massive rap on Teague Wilton. I wonder if I reckon one of them's going to bite the bullet soon if they don't fix it this week. If it's not this week, if they don't get that sorted, I dare say Wado's either back this week and he could...
He's a great left back.
They got the bye this week, so they got some time to work it out.
Yeah, they might figure it out. Wado, if he's back the following week, he could come straight back on that left edge because he'll stiffen them right up. Or does Braden Trindle put pressure on Moiser for that 7 jersey?
Well, I think they're both going to be getting a bit put under pressure because I think to have a back row like Wade Graham with that skill set, he can kick, he can hit hard, he can hit holes. He offers a lot more than T. Wilton. You know, T. Wilton's he's a good worker.
One last crack for Wado, you think?
Yeah.
Bit like Hargraves, where this could potentially
Just
be
like
their last
I think
year.
He's a starter. He's
So
not
they
a
just
bench
front
player.
load, they go hard.
Just go in, go all in. And if Moiser doesn't play, if he keeps missing tackles and everything like that, you're going to have to fucking bite the bullet now. And I think Fitzy's one of those coaches like, fuck it.
It'd be a big week. It'd be a very big week for them.
Because Trindle is waiting.
They were up 20-0 in this one, Mace.
They should have won. I know. Watch the game.
20-0.
That is not a good sign. Not a good sign. Great sign from the Warriors, but
Absolutely.
they've got some balls, man. Usually, traditional Warriors in the last 5 years, this could go 54-10.
Is that a top 8
They
side?
lost against 11 players last year. Remember they had fucking 2 players sent
that's
off. Will
right.
Kennedy and someone else got sent off for the Sharks
Yeah.
with like 15 minutes to
Yeah.
go. And Sharks still beat them. So Webster's doing a great job, mate.
Great
This is
job.
the best performance I've seen from a Warriors team, I think, that I can remember.
Yeah.
20-0, bro.
Considering 20,
In the wet.
20-0 down, wet, they don't traditionally play
Cronulla.
better. Cronulla's a fucking top 4 team in my head.
Yeah.
And they got the business done. Like, I'm not sure what they're doing over there. The coaching staff and everyone needs to be thanked. Webster's doing a great job. The players are bought into whatever he's selling. They're all in.
Are they
And
a
it's
top
great
8
to
side?
see some results.
Are they a top 8 side?
No, I'm
I'm
not say that yet.
I'm not willing to say that.
early?
Give me
yet.
12 games. Give me 10, 12 games.
Yeah,
They
it's the
still,
same
they
as
still,
what we
they still
were
haven't
talking about
played.
before.
They still haven't played the
Chance
best
Nickel
sides yet.
Clockstad, unbelievable.
Yeah.
When everything was going wrong for not just when I don't look at players when shit like Shawnee, unbelievable. Shawnee was going good once they got momentum. He was fucking good enough to capitalize on it. Chance, when it was going shit,
He don't go.
he was standing out.
He's in.
He was standing out. And Jazzy Tavanga, I thought they're going to miss Tohu Harris because Jazzy Tavanga and Dill Walker have been so good off the bench. He was fucking unbelievable through the middle as well.
He's a starting player. He's a starter in most teams, Chaz Zavanga. He just gets to play off the bench because he's pretty good off the bench. It's a fucking double-edged sword, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's like, fuck,
Victim of his versatility.
You're so good off the bench, kid,
Yeah.
but you can start. We've started you before. You can do the business, but fuck it. You know, it's a 17-man game now. At the
It
moment.
is.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
you know, and most of the teams that with really good benches, they're winning because it's not really changing much.
Well, we talked about it last week. They've been changing the game, man. Walker and Tavanga come off the bench.
Yeah.
So,
Toe-ball twins, boys. I fucking told you. Somebody gave me a shout out in the comments. Said that was
what's
funny.
that? What twins?
The toe-ball twins.
Toe-ball.
He was off me, so he didn't laugh at me, but you thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny.
All right. Anything else on that one?
What else? What else?
Do you reckon
it was good to see fucking Mutters Curran, Josh Curran, get a bit of time for the Waz at the back end. Only played 20, 25 minutes.
Doesn't matter,
But he come on, he had some dog about him. He got into it, scored a nice try. He's fucking...
a nice pickup for someone around that?
Well, for me, he's got a fucking... I don't know what he's doing, and this is hard sometimes. When you judge, you see it from the outside, you don't know what's happening in the four walls. But he's too good of a player to not be part of
In
their
the
best 17.
Yeah. So I'm just thinking, I don't know, like it'd be a good pickup for some other club. I
want him- I want
waste
him
his
to-
time over there. I thought he was one of these fucking getting talked about Origin a couple of years ago.
Yeah, he was just last year at the start of the year by Freddie. Freddie said he was on the radar. So I want to see him. I want to see him fight back into that
Don't know
team.
what he's done.
That was a good performance. It was only a couple of minutes, but it was
This
good
is a
performance
sort
by him.
of thing that the Warriors are a confident sort of club every
Yeah.
day. If everything's like they beat us, they've come over here, they've beaten Cronulla. They're like, fuck it, we can do it. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Who they got this week?
Speaking of you blokes, Bulldogs 15, Cowboys 14.
What a game, mate.
Yeah, well, that last 5 of regulation was pretty
Before we get into it,
Oh, yeah?
if you're a dog, you've seen this before. It's Let's Trot. Our friend, the Fox, has sent us some kit, Mace. Here we go.
Fuck, that's a nice jumper.
You want it?
Fuck, it's nice, bro. It's
Yeah.
awesome. Here we go. The Fox has sent that over. CC, what do we got for you?
What do we got here?
Some
We
can,
got a couple.
some can't.
Some cancer.
Nice, Foxy. Love you, brother.
Thanks, Fox.
Love your stuff. This is dropping. So, we're filming
his new
tonight,
stuff?
Monday night. It's dropping tonight, so go on, let's trot. Support the boys.
Some can, some
He
can't.
was
I love
he
it.
was trotting last night.
Oh, he can after last night.
He can trot.
That was my quote fucking last week actually, on the Joseph Suoli.
Oh, he's just throwing it on the back of a jumper, bro. Simple.
Huh?
He's just throwing it on the back of the jumper for you.
Yeah.
Some can, some can't. Trot.
I'm gonna have to take fucking.
Mate, we were. It was one of those wins last night. It was just, I was so happy for the players. You know, we got beat last week against a good Warriors team. We didn't play our best. We weren't really happy with that performance. I thought we left a lot of footy on the field. And it's that bounce back game where I'm like, fuck, you don't really know what we've got. You know what I mean? This is the first sort of really good test for us to go, right, got beat, all right, 16-14, it hurt, fucking hurt. What are we going to do about it? You know what I mean? We fucking, now we've got North Queensland, got a few injuries. Who gives a shit? Still NRL team, still got Taumalolo, and still got that whole back line, Val Holmes, all these. They're coming down here.
Chad Townsend,
they've still got
Tommy Dearden.
Yeah, they've still got a fucking
Origin
good
players.
team. And we're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go out. And we competed the whole time, right till the death, right till fucking the full-time thing. And like Burton, Fox, that fucking ending was amazing. I had fucking faith. I don't know why. I was just like, I just got a feeling we're going to
So
win.
did I. Yeah, I could feel the momentum.
I've got a feeling that we're going to score and just fucking somehow win this game. I just had faith in the boys, and they got it done. Like Birdo was outstanding. Couple of little things I want to say, like Gus and where the club's heading. Like Kick Out had a head knock.
Category 1, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I was standing there, right? So a lot of clubs, they could have hidden that shit. They could have hidden it. Kicks could have played.
Yep.
And I was really wondering what our club's about. I didn't say anything. I was just thinking like,
Thinking to yourself.
Take a note.
I was like, if we're fair income about the HIA and we're fair income about caring about our players, Kicks ain't playing. So I'm prepping my head come, I think the Saturday or something like that. I'm like, fuck, he's not playing. Like I knew, I was seeing then Gus come out and I showed you. He goes, yeah, well,
Send the tweet.
saw the tweet. I'm like, fucking love this club. You know what I mean? They care about the players because hey, some in that position we need Kicks. He's our best.
Yep,
He's a
100%.
massive difference. He's a difference maker. He's a winner. But like I spoke to him after. I was like, "You right, kid? Like he's. I don't think he was. He's copped the head knock, and then didn't really get up. So it was a category 1. Got up and slipped. You know what I mean? I was like,
Oh, poor bastard.
Well, apparently he sent the
Just
vision
hip on-
into the
hip on
NRL
him.
as well. So Gus has gone over and above to look after Kicks, and he's going to miss next week as well. Which
yeah,
is
he's got 11 days. Yeah,
it's a massive loss for you, but I agree, mate. Well said. Well done for the
what
Bulldogs.
The Bulldogs have done because they genuinely care about their players. And if I'm a young player and I want to go to a fucking great club who cares about me, not just fucking throw me out there, use me, and then piss me off whenever my use by date is up.
Yep.
So we're going to miss Kicks for 2 weeks, but we got that win last night, and fuck me, what a win!
Yeah, Jakey Preston, unbelievable, mate. He's been fucking so good. Yeah, if he's so it almost goes for me. It's Karaz, probably 1 for years in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Maxi King,
Love Max.
and then. Yeah, Reed Marnie's been really good, and Preston's thereabouts as well, mate.
Yeah,
That's-
and Birdo, don't get Birdo was
Birdo's
had a
been
game
up and
last
down.
last week he wasn't on. This week he was fucking
What
pissed
did I
off.
say last week?
Yeah.
He has to have 9 out of 10 games for
Yeah.
you guys to win games because, look, you're going back to the old school, the Dogs of War, in my opinion, looking from an outsider
Yeah.
in. You need to have these sorts of guys. These are why you pay the big bucks. Let's trot, baby. Fox, Birdo, fucking 30 metres out from your line, chip and chase with the
good was
scoreline, 40 seconds to go. They come up with a big play. They get in position just after they've scored a try on that same left edge. Shout out to the boys. It was, you know
What a
what?
game, mate.
Joshy Reynolds coming off the bench.
Fuck yeah. Did you see that?
You know what? It's going to be a proper tactic, I think, for Serraldo to use him because he legit brought energy to the crowd when he come on.
100%.
And then that's when you guys started
Creeping
back into it. And wasn't necessarily because of his actions. It's the energy that he brought
he brings
in the stadium.
energy, but he makes other forwards accountable. So he come on as a middle, right?
Yeah. He was busted.
organised.
He was busted
He
too.
was fucked.
Yeah.
I told him. I said the middle's a different. It's a different kettle of fish, mate. He goes, I said, just head on a swivel.
Yeah. Trying to do too much.
Shit, don't do too much. Pass a lot. Get the boys moving. Move the ruck around. The ruck around. Don't just be fucking. Don't cop those hits when you don't have to.
Did you see
Give it to Max King. Give it to Sutton.
Yes.
Move the ruck around. Be that connect guy to Burton out on that left edge. Be the connect guy to the fucking other. Be the dude in the middle that we need.
Yeah.
and just fucking bring it.
Did you see with 45 seconds,
I love it.
40 seconds to go, you got the penalty, Things got the tap, it was like a 6 again.
Yeah.
And he was struggling to get behind
Yeah.
Marnie. He was that gassed.
Yeah.
But he's just one of those guys who
stop,
keeps
mate.
finding a way.
He doesn't stop. His
Yeah.
energy and the love for the club would have got him through everything like that. So
Yeah.
fucking great having Grub back. I'm so proud of him. He fucking, but his ass was hanging out. It was good, bro.
Yeah, pump for him. Pump for you, mate. Pump for the Dogs. You're doing a great job there. Just quickly on the Cowboys. I said this last year a number of times. I love what the Cowboys did. There's a big part of why I love what they did was they were able to keep a very solid 21 to 22 players. I feel like they've used 23 or 24 already. They're just a team that's... I'm still high on the Cowboys. I think if they can get their troops back, just like I'm not dropping off on the Sharks, I'm not dropping off on the Rabbits.
The Tigers.
Tigers
the
are
Cowboys
done.
either. So they're the only
Tigers
teams we're
won't
not
win a game
dropping.
all year.
We're not dropping We're not dropping the fucking Tigers. Cowboys, Sharks, South. They're
South.
still
Yes,
top.
they're
4,
contenders
top
for me.
6.
They're tier 2.
Yeah.
They're still 2 tier for me, but they're obviously missing Cotter. Nanai was big. Murray Talangi, Drinky's still not back.
You're talking fucking great
All
players,
Origin,
mate.
all Origin players, bar Scotty Drinkwater, who wouldn't.
Ruben Cotter, bro.
Yeah, Ruben Cotter's the one.
Fuck.
Yeah.
He does a lot of cleanup work, a lot of second phase stuff, a lot of ball playing, fucking everything. Takes pressure off Taumalolo. Taumalolo's doing a lot of wastage sort of hit ups, going out the back a fair bit. That's the sort of game we wanted to keep Taumalolo at. I didn't want him, because he's been averaging 9 touches a game. I didn't want him to have 25 touches, because that equals 250 plus metres.
Yeah.
So I think we kept him down. Let me see his little stats here. But we just didn't want him. We didn't want that game where Taumalo just turns it around, just fucking runs straight through us.
I've got his stats here if you want, mate.
Yeah,
Fucking, it sucked to see that Harlem Lukey go down.
But look, 62 minutes, 17 hits and 198 metres.
Yeah, and that's a good. You've done a good job.
And I thought we limited him.
You did.
Yes.
That's a good job considering all the people that.
Those stats you'd be thinking they're world class stats.
Yeah.
33 tackles, none missed.
And he had a game. But we limited him because he didn't have the Ruben Cotters and all these other blokes around. That fucking Lukey's a good kid.
He's a gun, eh? He's got injured again now, though. Looks like he's done his calf at the back end of that game. He was
Oh,
limping
no
off.
way. Oh,
Yeah.
it hurts.
Yeah, I don't.
He's only just come off an ACL too.
Yeah.
Fucking, I've never seen Kid bounce back so good from an ACL. Yeah, look, I'm
Fuck,
just
he's a weapon.
beat.
Man. I think, he was playing on the left edge, so you know how we thought he might start on the right and then flow over to the left. He'll lock down that left edge when Nanai comes back, if he's good in the next couple of weeks. But Cowboys, a lot of digging to do. Sharks, Rabbitohs, make for a good comp. I asked a question at the start of the show. I'm still sitting on the fence with a few of these teams. I think maybe a couple of these teams are performing better than what they actually are. I think there are a couple that are going to be.
I'm with you. I
going a
know
bit
because
of
I've
run.
seen the draw
So
and
we'll
I know
see.
what we're talking about. We'll give it 12 to 14 rounds.
Yep. All right. See you next week.
you guys.
See you later on the week in the preview.
All right.
See you guys.